At the moment in which Goku was able to reach 100% of Ultra Instinct, all the gods were surprised, even giving him a bow. The power of Goku in that state had been incredible, as to defeat Jiren, making him the Universe 7 with the victory of the Tournament of Power. However, among all the gods, a fear in the same way would go through each of their bodies, especially that of Beerus. Damn it, if Son Goku's power keeps increasing like that, we won't be able to do anything against him, since he's even Zeno-sama's best friend. What's the matter with you, Mr. Beerus? I can tell that you're very thoughtful. Is there anything bothering you? No, Whis, don't worry, everything's fine. Whis esteemed Son Goku too much, so I'm sure he'll be able to do something against me. All this would be only thought by Beerus. For his part, Goku was able to bring all the eliminated universes to life again. But this time, even the 6 universes that had been eliminated by Zeno-sama had been restored. However, no one had noticed all this. Meanwhile, all the gods of destruction had a great meeting by means of the staff of each of their angels to discuss the threat that was the Saiyan Son Goku of Universe 7. It's a pity that Mr. Beerus esteems Mr. Goku too much, so he won't be able to accept that crazy idea. Although it's hard for me to admit it, I completely agree with you. I know Son Goku will be a great threat in the future. Whis, surprised by the words of his god, but he would say absolutely nothing. I agree, but what do we do if Zeno-sama finds out about all this? Exactly. Zeno-sama would even be able to eliminate each of our universes. Don't worry about that. We'll make an excuse, but I just wanted to know that I have your support completely. However, in the whole meeting, the only deities who had not commented anything would be those of Universe 6, since even Vados was fascinated by the power that Son Goku demonstrated. I can't believe what they're trying to do. Son Goku was even able to get everyone back to normal. They would end his life. They're fuckers. But Vados, well, on the other hand, they are right. We cannot have an existence that would be capable of ending our lives, and above all, that I only think about becoming more powerful. No, Champa, that's your problem. Because even if a Saiyan who is not born with divine energy had been able to reach those levels, imagine the power that the gods would be able to reach if they're able to take their training seriously. For his part, in Universe 7 on planet Earth, Goku was in a great training with Vegeta. That's right, both Saiyans wanted to become much more powerful. Damn insect, use the Ultra Instinct, as I want to beat you with all your power. I'm sorry, Vegeta, but I'm only able to access Ultra Instinct when a warrior's able to even corner me enough. In that case, I'll have to beat you, you damn worm. Both Saiyans would continue with their great training. Their battle was very intense, despite the fact that they were both only in their base states, so as not to destroy anything around them. But instantly, that both were about to give each other a blow, a great burst of energy was able to hit Vegeta, sending him flying, generating a huge explosion all over the place, of which a large crater had formed all over the place, leaving even Goku a little surprised, who was able to perceive the energy of the gods of destruction. What the hell's wrong with them? Have they lost their minds or something like that? Son Goku, I'm sorry. This is nothing personal, but all the gods agree for you to be eliminated, since you're a danger to the 12 universes. What the hell are you saying, Beerus? I was even able to get the victory of the tournament so that our universe isn't eliminated. Even brought them back to life again. Well, I agree with you, but you've brought us to life. But that doesn't erase the humiliation we feel. We, being gods of destruction, were overshadowed by you damn mortal. Exactly. And for that lack of respect today, we end your life. Apparently it's 3 against 1, but I don't plan to go to hell alone, since I have hands to defend myself. Damn ungrateful worms. Goku would instantly expel all his power, with which he was able to access the Super Saiyan Blue maximum power. By expelling his energy, he was able to make the gods retreat a few meters, which, when they observed him, they noticed how Goku's fists even let out a little blood. This is not at all. If I die in this place, I plan to make my body to the limit, so that they'll be able to feel the real terror. No, stop him! I'll have to use that weird technique that multiplies his power. The trio of gods rushed against him, but at that moment, Goku was able to expel all the power with which the 3 gods would be sent to a few mountains, destroying around him, so Goku mercilessly would realize that the god of Universe 4 was the weakest of all. So at a great speed, he would rush against him, starting to grant him a beating. So much that this time, the damage he caused, he was able to even make him spit large amounts of blood. That's right, despite being a god, he wasn't able to do anything against Goku. So Goku, being a few centimeters from his face, was able to execute an incredible War of Ozaru, disintegrating the god in a few seconds. What the hell? How was he able to end the life of a god in a few seconds? This shouldn't be possible. Don't worry. Just remember that weak die. That bastard died, it's because he wasn't powerful enough. The duo of gods pounced against Goku. Meanwhile, all this was seen by the Angel of Universe 6, who was very upset. If it wasn't for the divine rules, I'd be able to finish off that pair of gods myself. Where the hell are the Saiyan Vegeta located? Vados, with the help of his staff, he was able to realize that Vegeta was on the verge of death. Being seriously injured and not having his guard up, Vegeta wasn't able to recover, because the energy with which he had been attacked was destructive energy. So those wretches decided to end the life of that Saiyan, to between the three corners Son Goku. But it's a pity that this turns against him. Vados, with the power of his staff, he was able to get Vegeta to be able to assimilate the power of a god of destruction. By finding myself in another universe, I'm only capable of you being able to pair with that energy. If you're skilled enough, you'll be able to attain the power of a god of destruction. Vados, why are you so interested in this Saiyan Son Goku? It's not interest. It's an admiration, since a being who's been able to rise from the lowest to a decent level like the one he is now is worthy of admiration. Returning to the battlefield, Goku would begin to be overcome by both gods, which their fists were extremely powerful, as to even destroy galaxies with one of their blows. Goku's power would instantly begin to slowly decrease, which both gods realized, beginning to use much more energy and power in each of their blows. With a combined fist, Goku would fall to the ground, creating destruction all over the place. It's time to end the Bell Mound. We can't give it any chance. Both instantly launched an incredible attack with the intention of ending Son Goku's life. But at that moment, his great attack would be completely disintegrated, while an incredible silver aura would rise all over the planet Earth. That's right, Goku was able to access the Ultra Instinct, but this time, the power he expelled was incredible. Mr. Goku, show that you don't intend to fall so easily. I really completely disagree with this decision that the gods have made. But at that precise moment, an equally gigantic power would be felt throughout Universe 7, while a great aura would rise in the same way. That's right, the Prince of the Saiyans had been able to master the energy of a god of destruction, not 100%, but at a promising level, as to maintain an evil battle. I don't know how the hell I'm alive, but I'm not planning on letting these damn worms get away with it. Vegeta, with great speed, was able to appear next to Goku, realizing that the gods of destruction had betrayed them. What are you fucking Beerus supposed to be doing? We've given our lives for you, and so you think you can pay us miserable? Vegeta, this is not your problem. I'm surprised that you were able to withstand that big destructive energy attack, but if you join us and take down Son Goku, we'll leave you alive. That's right, and if you accept, you'll be even the most powerful Saiyan in this entire universe. You will not be the second, and nothing, and no one will be able to oppose you. Goku would stare at Vegeta. Don't say stupid things. Although the Kakarot insect is something stressful, it would never join the vermin like you. I knew I could trust you, Vegeta. How about we teach the true power of the Saiyans to these damn gods? I agree with you, but I want to end the life of Beerus, since that damn cat was the one who gave the order to destroy the planet, Vegeta. The power of both at that time would rise to extraordinary levels, so they began their incredible battle. That's right, the power they both possessed was amazing, which little by little began to overcome the power of the gods. Vegeta, on the other hand, had the battle very equal, to Beerus being the most powerful god among the 12 gods. That's right, Beerus did not let himself be subdued so easily. So with a great blow, he was able to send Vegeta flying, to then throw thousands of bursts of energies all over the place. While on his part, on this occasion, Goku was able to grant an incredible beating to Bellmouth, which felt like his entire internal system was completely destroyed, since the power that Goku used in each of his fists was incredible. Goku, with a great blow, was able to send Bellmouth flying to another planet, destroying him by the power of... What's going on, damn it? Are you the only one able to fight with a numerical advantage? That's only done by cowards like you're miserable. Damn it. If the power continues like this, it'll end my life. I'll have to use it, or if the demonic pearl. But it's the last thing I want to do. Goku, with an incredible power, would throw a powerful energy attack at him, but as he was about to collide with Belmod, an incredible power would be perceived all over the place. Well, at that instant, Belmod's appearance had completely changed, while his power had shot up in a surprising way. Vados, which was watching the whole battle, he would be enraged to notice the divine artifact that they had used. Those bastards have been able to use the demonic pearl, or also known as the Pearl of Eternal Life. But it's not eternal life, damn it. It's the power of hundreds of gods and warriors that are sealed, so that the divine being's energy use them in their favor. Vados, I'm sorry for the question, but do you mean it's not eternal life? From what I understand, the demonic pearl is able to return to the immortal wearer. You get confused, Mr. Champa. The demonic pearl stores the souls of dozens of gods or warriors of great powers. So if the god to activate dies, only one of the souls in that pearl perishes. That means that the gods and warriors of great powers that are in the pearl are only used as sacrifices, so that the gods don't lose their lives. Actually, I don't think they'd be able to do something like that, damn. Instantly, Beerus would also use the demonic pearl, so he was able to access an amazing power. But being much more powerful than Belmod would not change in a great way. Only his power would rise in an incredible way. Damn, Vegeta. I'll finish you quickly since you've left me no alternative. Beerus, at a flashing speed, was able to grant millions of blows to Vegeta, who had not been able to see absolutely anything. And before he was able to react, Beerus, with a powerful kick, was able to rip off his head. And using destructive energy, he was able to turn Vegeta into simple atoms. While on the other hand, Belmod would start playing with Goku. But when Beerus observed him fixedly, he would take the battle much more seriously, taking a little distance, charging a great attack to end the life of Goku. So Goku, in the same way, he would charge a great attack. However, the instant his attacks collided, the difference in powers was noticeable, being Goku destroyed in a few seconds. And let's leave this pathetic planet and destroy it, so that nobody remembers this miserable. Planet Earth had been completely destroyed, so both gods had left their respective universes. However, before Goku died, Vados was able to use an angelic technique which can only be activated once every 100 years. I'm sure that Goku will be the warrior who even surpasses the king at all. Instantly, a large blue door would appear in front of Goku, while an incredible deity would begin to observe him. An angel of great power has been able to give you a new opportunity. Don't let her down. You will be reborn, retaining all your memories and powers. An incredible supreme deity that even his rank was very similar to that of the incredible Zeno-sama was able to receive Son Goku. That's right, being one of the most powerful angels, he was able to even contact the supreme deity. However, the mental power he used was incredible. At the moment, the rest is just a matter of Son Goku, since I'm not able to access his dimension. Returning to that inhospitable dimension, that deity was staring intently at Son Goku, who on this occasion was very confused by everything that had happened. Where am I? A few moments ago I was fighting against the mighty god Beerus and Belmod, but I don't remember anything else. Your Saiyan has been betrayed by the gods, but a very powerful angel was able to contact me to see if you are worthy to have a chance more. Are you able to make me able to come back to life? You're like the god of Super Dragon Balls, apparently. Ha ha! Don't compare me to a simple dragon, because even for Zalma it would be very complicated to revive a warrior with all his memories and powers. It means that you'll be able to help me to return to the world of the living. You've been able to make me laugh after millions of years, so I will effectively make you reborn in Universe 6, although you will not pass the age of a child or a teenager again. Only I will be able to send you to Universe 6, in which Vados will be your mother. That means that you'll only revive me and I'll keep all my memories and powers, am I right? Indeed, But not only that, because by being in this place, you will be able to access the deepest secrets of your race, since this dimension is sacred to beings from the outside. Wow, if I'm able to discover all the secrets of the Saiyans, I'll be able to even avenge all my family and friends. I don't know why the gods have betrayed me, and I give my life for them. I was even able to bring them to life again. I don't know if this is of any use, but there are really people that no matter what you do, they will end up being afraid of your power, so they will betray you so that you don't keep moving forward. I appreciate your words, and I promise to be able to overcome the entire Divine Kingdom. They'll regret for betraying me. I'll eradicate everything in my path. That deity would begin to perform a great ritual with his hands, so that at that instant, an incredible glow would fall all over Goku's body, which was able to make him fall unconscious, or something similar to a state of absolute relaxation, since he was able to see his own body while his mind was filled with an overwhelming knowledge. In the power granted to me from the beginning of time, I, the founding god, gives one more chance to this Saiyan. Goku's body would fall with an incredible power on the planet of the god Champa of Universe 6, while Vados was very thoughtful since she didn't know if Son Goku would be able to return to life or reincarnate with the blessing of the Supreme Deity. However, a great chaos would be generated all over the place, which had even caught Champa's attention, since his entire planet was collapsed by an extremely incredible power. Vados, what happened? Is it a new enemy? Don't worry, Mr. Champa, as he's only the Saiyan of Son Goku Universe 7. Are they Goku? The Saiyan that all the other gods wish to eradicate and the most powerful mortal of all the universes, if I'm not mistaken. Indeed. I remember that even you were very grateful for Mr. Goku for bringing you back to life. So I've decided to give you one more chance. What do you mean by giving another chance? You better than anyone know that even through you are one of the most powerful gods. We can't intervene in the flow of death, because even at that moment the powerful angel Mikosha could finish with us. Don't worry, Mr. Champa. Since all this has been planned, I've been able to use all my mental power so that Mr. Goku will be received by the Supreme Deity. Supreme Deity? What the hell are you talking about, Vados? Surely something has happened to your head for having intervened with the flow of life and death. Mr. Champa, please trust me. Even if another tournament is organized, our universe will be the winner by having the most powerful warriors of all universes. I understand that, but I'm really terrified by the other gods. You know that better than anyone, that I'm the most weak god because I don't like to train. Oh no, Mr. Champa, but that'll be a reason why you train every day. But I'm completely sure that Son Goku will be able to surpass all of us. Damn, Vados. It's okay. From tomorrow I also want to start training, because if something happens, I don't want to be the punching bag of the other gods. Okay, Champa-sama, but right now I'll help wake up Mr. Goku. Vados, what do you think? You better take him into one of the rooms, so that I'll be able to get rest much better. That seems like a great idea to me. It'll be what I will. Vados was approaching Son Goku. He would take him in his arms, but a few seconds later, he would release him and quickly take distance. Champa, at the moment of being about to say something, would fall to his knees, because Son Goku had released a gigantic power. That's right, the knowledge of the Supreme Deity, as well as the environment of that dimension, was able to Son Goku raise his power much more. Not to mention that each of his wounds had been successfully healed, which even on this occasion would have granted him an extra. Vados! I'm not able to breathe! What is all this power? I'm not able to absolutely do anything, and feel like my bones are being destroyed. Vados, with his great power, was able to create a barrier for his god. However, Vados would still raise his power as the pressure he released was starting to cause him some damage. The power that Son Goku is releasing is amazing. I can't believe it. Well, this is bad, since the other gods may be able to feel his power. Vados, with the help of his staff, he was able to seal the entire Universe 6, so that Goku's energy is not perceived by the universes. Goku's powers seem to have no limits, since he had been able to reach the Ultra Instinct. However, his power continued to increase in an overwhelming way, as long as he repeats the same. I'll kill them! I'll kill them! I swear I'll kill them! The thirst for revenge he possesses is incredible. He even still out of combat, only his body has moved of its own accord. I'm amazed at the power he releases. Is that really the power of Son Goku? I can't believe how he's able to release all those untapped amounts of energy. How were the other gods able to end this Saiyan's life? I'm sorry, Mr. Goku, but I'll have to put you out of combat, because otherwise you'll be exposed to all the other gods, and this time I won't be able to do anything for you. Vados, with a great speed, would pounce against Goku, intending to knock him out of combat with a single blow, but instantly Goku was able to move to the side, dodging Vados' blow. I'll lend your existence! Goku, with an incredible blow, was able to send her flying thousands of kilometers, being able to make her clash to a few rocks. The instant that angel was able to stop, too much blood was spreading from all her body. That hurt me too much. Really, the power of this Saiyan's amazing. But right now, only that blinded by anger, I have to stop it. The battle of both warriors had begun. Their glimpses on this occasion were even able to destroy planets and galaxies. Although Vados was able to use a large part of his power, he wasn't able to put him out of combat. That's right, Goku's resistance had increased in an incredible way. So, at the moment, Vados was forced to use much more of her power, releasing 40% of all her power, which was crazy to face a mortal. However, on this occasion, the balance would be on the side of Vados, since the blow he was able to connect made him bleed in a large quantity, and with the double fist, Vados was able to send him to the ground, destroying everything around him. I must admit that the power you possess is amazing. With the right training, I'm sure that you'll be able to overcome all the gods and angels. Vados' gaze would change to one of surprise, realizing how Goku was able to stand up, but this time, his power had decreased in an incredible way, so he'd even returned to the Super Saiyan Phase 3. Your divine essence is completely lost, and with that power, you won't be able to do anything against me. Don't try anymore. You were a worthy opponent. When Goku had tried to increase his power, he would return to his base state, falling out of combat, while Champa inside that barrier was terrified and amazed. Vados, is that really Son Goku? A warrior who fought in the Tournament of Power. How's he able to get all that incredible power in this short time? I really have no idea, Mr. Champa, but as you were able to realize, if a new Tournament of Power is called, Universe 6 will be able to take the victory. The power of Son Goku terrifies me. But you're right, Vados. If he comes again, there will be a power tournament, and we'll take the victory. Meanwhile, in Goku's subconscious, he had completely lost, since he wasn't able to assimilate everything that had happened. So, instantly, the deity would appear in front of him once more. Do not be amazed by the power that you've been able to release, as it is due to the fact that your body has reached my dimension, in which the place is much more better to increase the power. Has all that really happened? I thought it was a dream, and I wasn't able to wake up. My friends and family were eradicated by that dam. Son Goku's tears would fall to the ground. Son Goku, if you continue with that thought, the sacrifice of each of your friends will not have been worth it. You have been able to become much more powerful. Goku, when he raised his head, the deity had completely disappeared. I don't understand what's happened, but I have to be able to avenge my friends. I have to master all that incredible that I've been able to release. Goku, in his subconscious, was able to start meditating and assimilate a little of all the incredible power that he'd been able to achieve by just having been in front of that great deity. For his part, Vados had been able to take rest in one of the rooms of the whole palace of the god Champa. I'm still not able to assimilate all that incredible power that Mr. Goku's been able to release. I didn't know that he was hiding all that power. Vados, the warrior has been able to recruit an extremely powerful warrior. We'll be able to rise up among the 12 universes. I agree with you, Mr. Champa. Returning to Universe 7, exactly to the planet of the god Beerus, Whis had met with a neutral gaze, as he didn't agree with the elimination of his disciples. Hey, Whis, I know you're a little upset about everything that's happened, but you must understand that those Saiyans were a danger to the 12 universes. You don't have to worry about giving me explanations, Mr. Beerus, since I am only your angel. Okay, but I hope you'll be able to understand me in the future. Meanwhile, returning to Universe 6, despite having only spent a few hours, Goku was able to wake up, but this time he was much calmer, observing everything around him, being able to leave the castle, finding Vados, and Champa training. So I'm in Universe 6! That's why I don't feel any kind of known energy. Well, apparently that you just woke up this short period of time. I must know he has 1,000 questions, and I'll be able to answer every one of them. I really appreciate it, Vados. I still don't know how I was able to get to Universe 6. Vados, with the help of his staff, was able to get Son Goku to be able to clear his mind completely, since he had shown him everything that had happened, from the betrayal of his friends, the visit of the Supreme Deity, even the battle that he had with the Angel of the Universe 6, and the new power he was able to release. Wow, so it hasn't been a dream after all. I still have a hard time assimilating it, but I apologize, Vados, and I also thank you for being able to communicate with that incredible deity who was able to grant me more. Don't worry about that, Mr. Goku. I've gladly done it, but you've become much more powerful, as I'm sure all the gods and other angels are plotting and planning something much bigger, so you'll have to train. I understand, Vados. In that case, let's start right now. At that moment, the new training of Goku would start in Universe 6. Goku's training had started with the angel Vados of Universe 11. Meanwhile, in a faraway place from all the 12 universes, the three Celestials had been able to observe everything that had happened, because they wanted to recruit a powerful warrior, so that he would also be able to help them in their plan to eradicate the Divine Kingdom. The power of that warrior is amazing. I can't believe he's a mere mortal. I agree with you, even though he would be an extremely powerful warrior, since only his life of a mortal would be able to reach the Ultra Instinct. Indeed, if that warrior were able to train for millions of years, as we have done, he would be able to achieve an extremely incredible power. So, what do you think if he is the only man in our team, but in the same way let him be the most powerful warrior? I understand that he's the only man, but the most powerful of our team is completely impossible. Although he has great power, he needs much more. No, Mayuki, don't make fun, because most likely the warrior is capable of surpassing all of us. Returned to the planet of Champa, Goku in this short time period was able to access the imperfect Ultra Instinct, since his impulse for revenge would be much more powerful than his limitations, so his increase in power was completely madness. Mr. Goku, I'm surprised by the power you're being able to achieve, because even for us angels who are gifted, we're not able to increase our power in that way. You must be a super genius. And I appreciate your empty words, but on this occasion, I want to break all my bones if necessary. My friends were eliminated because of my weakness, even Vegeta gave his life for me. Mr. Goku, I completely understand, but the Divine Kingdom will regret everything you've done, as I'm sure that you'll be the warrior capable of changing the Divine World. Goku would instantly start meditating to be able to assimilate all the new power he had been able to obtain. However, a glitch in his energy would make Beerus able to feel his presence. What the hell? What's supposed to be going on? That is the power of Son Goku. If my perception doesn't fail, the power comes from Universe 6. Beerus instantly, with the help of Whis, would be able to communicate with the god of Universe 11, asking to come to his planet quickly. After a few minutes, the god Bellmound was able to reach the planet of Beerus. What the hell do you want, Beerus? You know I'm a very busy guy. I've been able to be very nervous since only replacing the god of destruction can bring the destruction of the universes involved. Bellmound, that's nothing to worry about, since the Angel of the Universe 4 is on our side, since he hates all mortals in the same way. Well, I understand, but now tell me, what the hell do you want? I don't have any time for your ridiculousness. I've been able to feel the power of Son Goku. I'm not sure if it's him, but we can't leave any loose ends. Otherwise, they'll end up with us. Beerus, don't say stupid things. It's impossible that Son Goku's still alive. It's true that we weren't able to use destructive energy on his soul, but no warrior is able to revive him, since we even finished with all his friends. Bellmound, but we can't stay with the doubt, because if Son Goku's still alive, I'm sure he'll be able to do the impossible to finish us off. Damn, Beerus. Alright, let's head to the planet of the useless guy from Champa. The gods, together with their angels, would head towards Universe 6, but before entering their universe, Beerus would give the signal to Whis so that he would be able to camouflage them completely. By flying at a high speed, they were able to reach the planet of Champa, being surprised to realize how Goku was on top of a mountain meditating. What? How's this possible? We're able to end the life of that damn worm, so Champa for that reason said absolutely nothing. I'll annihilate him. Whis, at that time, would use mental power to be able to communicate with his sister. Vados, we're on top of Mr. Champa's planet. You know that if we disobey an order of our god, we are forced to perform it by divine punishment. when realizing it had been too late, as he would realize how Ciampa had been commanded to fly from a powerful blow, which destroyed everything around him. While Beerus, mercilessly that he is his brother, would begin to grant him a shrapnel of blows, which on this occasion Ciampa wasn't able to defend himself. Beerus, from a powerful blow, would be able to send him to the bottom of the sea.
You're a pathetic good-for-nothing. You're no good even for warm-ups, Stellarain.
Hundreds of balls of energies would be thrown towards Ciampa, who, still stunned by that blow, wasn't able to dodge any of Beerus' attacks.
Vados, you, like an angel, you're not able to get involved in the matter of the gods, so you can't do anything to prevent Son Goku's death.
Vados in anger would not say anything, but at that moment, a great power would be felt all over the planet of Beerus. That's right, the god Ciampa had been able to release 100% of all his power.
Damn Beerus, you look worse than a cockroach attacking from behind, and without me being able to put myself on guard. What? How are you able to recover from those blows?
Ciampa, with an incredible speed that even both angels were surprised, was able to hit Beerus with an amazing force. That blow would send him flying thousands of kilometers. Belmaud, from his back, would try to throw a great attack, but at the moment, Ciampa, with his great speed, was able to move quickly, starting to give Belmaud a beating. For his part, Beerus would stand up, but too much blood would spread all over the place.
A miserable Ciampa. He was able to hit me with the incredible power. I won't forgive him. If I have to transform myself, I will.
Beerus would channel all his energy. That's right, making the whole planet of Ciampa look like a little destroyed by all the extortion of his power. But instantly, that even his power spread through Universe 6. Beerus would be observed in his combat form.
Damn worm. I hope that this time I'm prepared, because when I use this power, I'm not able to contain myself.
Beerus, with a great speed, would move, so being in front of Ciampa, he was able to hold his hand with great power, as he was holding Belmaud by the neck.
You better be calm, because at this moment your older brother will show you who's the boss of this place.
Beerus and Ciampa, they stared at each other, so at the moment, both began to exchange hundreds of blows all over the battlefield, while Belmaud fell to the ground very badly injured and on the verge of death.
Ah, damn it! The damage that fucker did to me was serious. My energy veins look like they're about to explode. I'll have to transform or die.
Belmaud at the moment would grant access to his combat state, so the whole Universe 6 would start to shudder, which would even force Goku to open his eyes.
Mr. Ciampa won't be able to do anything against those two, but I'm currently able to even take down those two trash.
Between Belmaud and Beerus were able to give a beating to Ciampa, who, despite having achieved an incredible power, would not be able to face both gods at their maximum powers. Ciampa had been sent to fly to a part of the planet, causing incredible chaos around.
It's a pity that you won't be able to support of any of the gods. For choosing the wrong side right now, we'll end your pathetic life.
Beerus, together with Belmaud, had thrown a powerful attack against Ciampa, which, having no energy, was about to be eradicated. But the incredible attack would be reduced to mere atoms, while an incredible aura would rise all over that place. Oh, Mr. Goku's been able to access the Ultra Instinct to its maximum power. This is really amazing.
Goku, I really appreciate it. If not for you, I would have died.
Don't worry, Mr. Ciampa. At this moment, I'll defend you.
No, Goku, I can tell that those wretches are ungrateful.
Go away. I'll be able to stop them for a few minutes.
No matter your sacrifice, we'll be able to find this dirty mortal and end his existence.
Goku would begin to approach both gods, which felt like an incredible pressure was falling on their entire bodies.
What the hell's going on? I feel like my body's much heavier. I'm not even able to move freely, as my body alerts me of death. This must be a mistake, because a simple warrior like you wouldn't be able to unleash all that incredible power. So I'll finish you.
Belmaud, using an incredible and a needle, would be able to cause himself some damage, throwing himself towards Goku, who would observe him with a cold gaze.
You were able to free yourself from my pressure with pain, but how are you able to dodge this?
Goku, with a quick movement, was able to grant the god Belmaud millions of blows in a matter of only 3 seconds. That's right, Goku's speed had grown to overwhelming levels, which this time was able to make Beerus start shaking.
What? How are you able to award millions of hits to Belmaud? He wasn't even able to see anything.
Meanwhile, this battle was being watched by the Celestial Three, as well as by the Daishinkan High Priest.
I can't allow Beerus and Belmont to fall to the battlefield. As much as the most powerful gods, the balance will be broken, and they will be the key to the ritual of ascent. Daishinkan would begin to channel an incredible energy in his hands, so that after a few seconds, he would throw an incredible attack into space, which seemed to have been devoured by an existence. But at that instant, everything around him would turn a red color, while the chains of the underworld were able to be observed, just as the entrance would have been completely, letting out a powerful warrior. I have used a lot of my angelic power to be able to summon you. I want you to end that Saiyan's life, and save that pair of gods and angels. I understand, but you'll have to grant me much more angelic energy, since I have been sealed for millions of years. When you're able to fulfill the mission, I will grant you, since I understand that you being the exterminator of gods and angels, you possess large amounts of angelic energy inside. So leave. Apparently the High Priest has been very well informed of me. The exterminator of gods had quickly left for Universe 6, being able to carry in mere seconds. Just when Goku was charging a large sphere of energy to finish off both gods, the environment had completely changed, being able to destroy even everything in his path, just like an opposing warrior could be observed. What is this pressure? Is an angel going to get in my way? I feel like all my bones are completely pulverized. Goku would sin, as even the angels had a hard time standing. I've been sent by the exterminator priest. I have a mission to save the life of that pair of good-of-nothing gods, just like the ending of this life for this simple Saiyan. Damn, I can tell by your appearance you have absorbed the energy of thousands of warriors, which even forced you to mutate. I'm better known as the exterminator of gods, so when I finish with each of my prey, I'm able to steal their powers completely. Vados would communicate with Goku telepathically. Mr. Goku, you have to leave quickly since you won't be able to do anything against him. I'll be the decoy and keep coming back stronger. Vados, without carrying anything, she rushed against the new warrior, but to everyone's surprise, that guy was able to leave her on the verge of death with a simple movement, since on this occasion he'd been able to cross her chest. Ha ha ha! Oh, pathetic, you guys are extremely weak subjects, so there's nothing to be afraid of, but I'm planning to end your life quickly to get my reward. Goku, despite using all his power, had not been able to do anything, since his body weighed thousands of tons. The warrior, taking advantage of his power, would begin to give a beating to Goku. His blows were so powerful that screams could be heard throughout Universe 6, since each blow was capable of destroying his bones as well as his energy veins. The warrior, with a powerful blow, was able to send him to the planet to the brink of death. Goku had even returned to his base state without being able to do anything against his enemy, that it was an overwhelming power. Damn it! The same thing always happens! I'm sick of being weak! For their part, the three heavenly warriors were able to observe everything. The damn weakling is the exterminator! Millions of years ago, he even begged us for his life, so that we would be able to let him go. I'll finish that worm. No, Mayuki. I, as the leader of the Celestials, will finish with that miserable... The Celestial named Freya, with a dimensional change, was able to reach the planet of Champa. And at the moment of arriving, an incredible pressure was able to fall on the god, which he felt like his bones were pulverizing. What is this feeling? This power, I remember. I feel how my whole being trembles. While everything around him changed completely, one could observe a beautiful woman who, without even releasing absolutely anything of her power, was capable of causing devastation around the place. Instantly, she would begin to approach the exterminator of gods. The powerful Freya and the leader of the trio of the Celestials had arrived on the battlefield, with which her simple pressure was able to break several of the bones of the exterminator, who at the moment of observing her would panic. That's right, on this occasion, the imposing warrior looked like a simple kitten, since he was not even able to move. Damn Daishinkan, she never informed me that messing with these damn guys was messing with these damn... No matter what energy she stole, I'm no match for her. Freya, with a smile, would begin to approach the exterminator, who was still standing but without being able to move any of his muscles, which would anger the leader of the Celestials.
Do you think you're at my level enough not to bow down to me? Get on your knees now, because if we compare our powers, it's like trying to compare a lion with a simple ant, which is what you are. An incredible, much more powerful pressure would fall on the entire body of the exterminator, forcing him to kneel, while Freya would put her foot on the head of the exterminator, which left everyone surprised, even Daishinkan, who was also watching everything that was happening in the Universe 6.
What the hell? The exterminator is the most powerful warrior that's ever existed, only being surpassed by the lineage of the kings of all. Who is that woman?
I don't know who you are, but I appreciate it, because if it weren't for you, I'm sure all of us here would have died. I'll be honest, I'm not interested in what happens to these weaklings, but I, the leader of the Celestials, want you to be part of our team. What? I can't believe what I'm hearing. How is it possible that there's a group called the Celestials, and much more they want to recruit Mr. Goku? The Angel of Universe 11 would try to pick up her god to leave at high speed. However, at the moment, Freya, with a simple glance, was able to make both of them reduce to mere ashes. So in the same way, she had ended the life of Beerus while she would stare at Whis. You're Angel from Universe 7. I could tell that you are a pure heart, and you don't allow yourself to be influenced by the simple authority of the higher-ranking beings. But your position as an angel makes you have to obey, so you have no choice. I thank you for sparing my life, but I will be honest. I prefer to be eradicated by you, because if I leave alive, I will be granted another god, or even the High Priest can end us for failing to comply with the mandate of an angel. What do you think if you join us in the same way? You will be our angel. For me, it will be the greatest honor to be able to say that in a decision. I know that you will be able to respect that.
I have to use all my power. It's the perfect opportunity. This one with my guard down, if I'm able to give a single blow on her, I'm sure I can knock her out.
At that moment, an incredible power was perceived all over the place, while a flash could be observed. That's right, the exterminator had rushed against Freya, being able to connect an incredible blow on the face of the celestial beauty. The rumble had been incredible since everything around him was destroyed. However, at the moment that the exterminator would try to flee, it was impossible for him, since at that instant Freya's hand was able to hold him. That's right, the incredible blow had not been able to cause him any harm, which would make him panic, getting down on one knee again.
My lady, I just wanted to check all your power. You know, after so many millions of years, I wanted to know if my power had increased a little.
Haha, your power is pathetic. Even though you used 100% of all your power, you weren't able to do anything against me. Die, pathetic worm! Freya, by stretching out one of her hands, was able to eliminate him completely. That's right, the exterminator did not stand a chance against Freya, who instantly, by stretching out one of her hands, was able to rebuild the entire planet of the Champa God, as well as the planets that had been destroyed by her great battle. Angel of Universe 6, if it is not important to you, I'll take Son Goku with us. But don't worry, I won't leave you helpless. I'll use a barrier which not even the king at all will be able to destroy. And you have to know that the Divine Kingdom is more corrupted than you think. I really thank you for being able to save us. And of course, if Son Goku wishes to leave with you, I respect his decision. Goku, a little hurt by the pressure of the exterminator, would approach towards Freya. And Vados. If you leave, I wish to leave with Miss Freya, since I've been able to realize that the incredible power she possesses, even if she is able to train me, I'm sure this will be much more powerful, but I promise I'll come back for you. Thanks to you, I have this opportunity. Don't worry, Mr. Goku, we'll be waiting for you at this place. Son Goku, show that your power has no limits. I'm sure that you'll be able to surpass the great priest Zeno-sama. Thank you very much for your words, Mr. Champa. Angel of Universe 7, it'll be better for you to stay in this place so that they have how to become more powerful. In the same way, no one will be able to break this barrier. Freya's gaze would instantly change to the look of anger as she stared at the nothing. Damn good-for-nothing priest. I know you're watching everything that happened, but you and that dwarf better get ready, because soon we'll finish with all of you. Freya, with one blow, was able to cut off communication with the great priest, who would fall seated, because no being had been able to cut off his communication.
My body won't stop shaking. I have to find out who the hell that woman is.
Daishinkan would enter the most inhospitable corners of all the 12 universes with the intention of finding information about that woman and the group of the Celestials. On the other hand, in a very remote place of all the 12 universes, Freya had been able to arrive with her companions, accompanied by Goku. I know it's kind of weird, but Son Goku will be the only male member of our team, so I want them to keep the respect and, above all, to train him, since his power is very low and he's a genius, since in the last 100 years he's been able to even surpass the gods of destruction, being able to reach 45% of the power of an angel.
Understood. So when you order Freya, we will start with the training of our new member. Of course, yes. We will be ready to help with our new partner. I thank you for having that hospitality with me, and I promise that I'll become much more powerful to be able to protect you in the future. You made me blush, but that's impossible since your power is far from our power, and that you have the intention has pleased me a lot.
In this moment, we will start with Son Goku's training, so you access the Ultra Instinct maximum power, since you will need it, and increase all the power you can, but without losing speed, that is the maximum power that your body supports. Goku would immediately access the Ultra Instinct maximum power. He was able to leave Freya a little surprised, since his power was much greater than when he was on the planet of Champa. That's right, the damage of that battle had granted him an incredible increase in all his power, so instantly, of a great silver light, it was possible to observe Goku at his maximum.
You really possess an incredible power. As for only trained for less than 100 years, if you keep with that growth rate, you'll be able to surpass us, although it is hard for me to admit it.
Enough talking. It is time to start. I want you to create clones with 5% of your power. Son Goku will have to beat them to be able to pass the next test.
Only 5% of power? Are you sure you're not underestimating me?
If you're able to beat our clones with ease, I will grant you whatever you wish. I will even be able to meet you as the new commander of our group.
This'll be fun. I want to test 5% of his powers in that case.
The clones had rushed against Goku, who was able to notice as his speed was incredible because despite processing the Ultra Instinct, one of them was able to tear his face a little by dropping a few drops of blood.
What? This is only 5% of the power. This will be much harder than I thought.
The coordination of the three warriors was incredible, so much so that he was even able to put a warrior like Goku in trouble. After a few moments, Goku would be able to simulate the speed of each of his enemies. However, the power of his fist was not enough to be able to eliminate them. So at the moment, Freya, with a quick movement, was able to give him a big blow, sending him into the air, where both clones were waiting for him. And with a combined blow, he was able to make him fall with amazing power. Destroying everything in his path, the three warriors would move closer to Goku.
What happened to Goku? I thought our clones with 5% of our power were too weak for you. That would be a lesson, so you can understand the level that separates us, but I'm sure that you'll be able to become a powerful warrior.
My whole body hurts. The power of the maximum must be amazing, because only with his clones I was able to receive so much damage. Mayu, heal all of Goku's wounds, please, so that he's able to equally increase his power in a better way. For his part, Daishinkan had been able to reach the limits of the 12 universes, in which he was able to notice a very ancient scroll, in which he would also find several of the answers to all his doubts.
This is a very old scroll, but apparently it has something written on it.
Daishinkan, being a very ancient angel, he was able to understand several things, not everything, but he would realize that the clans of the Celestials was much an older clan, even the kings at all, while their power came to all the planets and stars, which allowed them to have almost unlimited power.
So those guys have their powers thanks to the planets and stars. This will be interesting, because if we destroy all the universes, we'll have no powers at all.
Daishinkan would return to the palace, where Zeno-sama and his two guardians were waiting for him, as he had left without any warning.
Daishinkan, where were you? As far as I remember, I haven't been able to ask you for anything in the limits of the 12 universes, so you must have a good explanation.
My lord, I don't know if you have the knowledge of the Celestials, but I have been able to discover their weak point.
Zeno-sama would remember how millions of years ago his father had told him about 4 warriors that he should never face. 3 of them belonging to the group of the Celestials, and the last warrior, the god of the underworld. Since the power of those warriors seemed to be infinite, even a king at all was not able to do anything against them.
I want you to tell me everything you've discovered, since I respected the Celestials, but those damn ones, they ended my father's life. I still don't understand the reason, but I'm not interested. What I want is revenge.
But my lord, next to the Celestials is his best friend Son Goku, because as far as I can understand, the clan has recruited him.
I'm not interested in Son Goku being part of those damn good-for-nothings. Right now, we'll start with the plan to eradicate those bastards.
My lord, as far as I've been able to investigate, their power comes from the planets and stars. So if there are no planets nearby, they won't be able to possess the power that characterizes them.
Aha! His weak point has been much easier than I thought, and this is perfect since I also plan to destroy all the 12 universes.
My lord, if you plan to destroy all the 12 universes, allow me to absorb the power of all the gods and angels, as I want to raise my power.
Don't worry, you can absorb the power of those damn garbage.
Daishenki, with his great mental power, had requested a meeting with all the 12 universes. So each of the gods and angels had arrived, with the exception of the angels of Universe 6, 7, and 9. While on the other hand, the gods of Universes 4, 6, 7, 9 would not arrive at the meeting either.
Damn, those damn were able to finish with the angel of Universe 11 and likewise with the gods. But damn of Whis and Vados, I'll make them suffer. We have arrived, Daishenki-sama. Tell us, what has happened? At this time, all of you will be part of my power, as it will be for the greater good.
The gods and the angels were surprised, but Daishenki, without letting them react, was able to create a large pentagram on the top of the gods. So every drop of his powers would begin to enter Daishenki's body, while the gods and angels remained in simple bones.
The power that runs through my body is incredible. Soon, we'll be able to end all those miserable.
While you were able to assimilate all that power, I will destroy every planet and star.
Zeno-sama would immediately access his combat form, with which he was able to destroy every planet and star in the 12 universes. While an incredible scream would shake each of the 12 universes. That's right, Daishenki had been able to access 100% of all his new power.
I have to control all this power as to not have an energy drain.
Very soon, we'll be able to see each other's faces again, and they better be ready.
Goku would continue with his great training, which was supervised by the Celestial 3. However, it had already been 3 days since Goku wasn't able to defeat his clones.
I agree that he is a genius, but for him to be able to beat our clones, it would take him at least 2 years. And of course, if he is the genius we think, since an ordinary being would take him at least 10 years.
I agree with you, Mayuki, but I feel like Son Goku is hiding something else. Before they're able to speak, Goku would give a big smile in Super Saiyan Blue.
It's time! I already been able to master all that power. It hasn't been that long yet. This is the power that the deity who revived me helped me achieve.
The clones pounced against Goku, but with incredible speed, he would dodge each of their blows while feeding his 3 teachers.
I'm ready for the next training. Haha, what are you saying? I've seen you dodge them with great agility, but to move on to the next training, you must be able to beat them. And that's what I'll do right now.
Goku would clench his fist, beginning to release an amazing power. That's right, the knowledge of that deity had granted him had been incredible. So Goku would begin to break his limits as a Saiyan while everything around him began to shake, which would leave the trio of warriors very surprised. Goku would continue to expel an amazing power. After a few moments of an incredible scream, he was able to access his maximum power, which was able to dominate it 100%, being this the state of the Super Saiyan 3 Ultra Instinct, which would leave everyone surprised of the incredible power that emanated from his body.
It's time to finish the first training.
Goku, as a flash, was able to hold Frieza's clone by the neck with an incredible brutality, breaking it, and with a quick attack from his mouth, he was able to disintegrate it completely. Goku would move with the remaining 2 clones, starting to exchange millions of blows all over the battlefield. The clones were not able to keep up with Goku's speed.
I can't believe this. I had understood that he was a genius, but this warrior is a genius among geniuses. I agree with what Mayu says. I can't believe he was able to beat our clones in only 3 days. Who is this Freya warrior?
At this moment, I don't even know myself. We only knew that he was the mortal who was able to surpass all the gods, but I don't think he was able to have so much potential. Goku, while continuing to exchange blows, he would learn the combat style of his enemies, and when he got completely used to it, he was able to end up sending one of them flying with a big blow, destroying everything in his path.
You owed me that punch, because it was the punch that almost knocked me out before.
Goku would stretch out one of his fists, stopping one of the blows, and with one kick, he was able to make her retreat a few meters since he was able to cover himself before Goku's kick impacted with her. his opponent at that moment would begin to carry an incredible power in his palms. That's right, that was his final attack. If this is your final attack, I still have to respond, and I'll charge an attack with which I will reduce you to mere atoms. Goku would begin to carry a powerful attack in his hands, and after a few seconds, both threw their most powerful attacks. But the difference was clear, since Goku would take advantage quickly. However, at the moment, the clone of Mayu would likewise gather all his power, throwing an attack matching the balance a little more. This is bad for Son Goku. No matter what power he possesses, if 2 attacks of that caliber is able to hit him, I'm sure they'll disintegrate him. Let's wait. If something happens, we intervene, because I want to know if he really is able to defeat our clones with his power alone. Both clones began to take the advantage, so Friya was about to intervene, but a smile would resonate throughout the battlefield, while Goku in less than 1 second was able to double his power, destroying the attack of both, and in the same way, disintegrating them completely, leaving no trace of their enemies.
How fun that was! But like I said, Friya, I'm ready to make my way for the next training.
Your son Goku, you've been giving me surprises, but that's okay. Tomorrow we will continue with your training, since this battle must have left you exhausted.
Not at all! I didn't use this power because I wanted to control it 100%, so don't worry, I'm able to fight for weeks with this power. I want to test your power. I will increase my power until you're no longer able to keep up with me. What do you think? And at the end of the battle, we will continue tomorrow with the training. Sounds good to me. I want to check the true power of the Celestial. They've trained for millions of years. I'm excited.
Okay, but Mayuki, don't overdo it, because Goku's not at our level yet.
Friya, I'm asking you, please, let him use the power that I support. I want him to hit me with his power. Only then I'll be able to become much more powerful.
Okay, then don't blame me if you're not able to move tomorrow.
I hope you're prepared, because at this moment, you will fight with one of the most powerful beings in existence. Of course I'm ready, so tag me whenever you want.
To which Goku would finish his sentence, an incredible blow had hit his face, sending him flying millions of kilometers, and being dragged by everything around him. But before he was able to recover, Mayuki would throw thousands of energy spheres, which Goku was able to dodge each one of them, thinking,
the fist must have been able to connect me. It was amazing. It almost knocked me out. I can't believe the power it has.
Goku, with his great speed, approached Mayuki, starting to exchange thousands of blows. But on this occasion, Goku was not able to connect any blow, while Mayuki was able to hit him several blows, which caused him an amazing damage.
Son Goku's power even exceeds 35% of our power. That's why he's been able to defeat our clones without any difficulty.
Apparently, Mayuki's been able to know what Son Goku's limit was, since this time he has not been able to increase his power much more. Mayuki, with a powerful blow to his stomach, had sent him flying to a nearby planet, destroying him by his power. While Mayuki approached Goku, he vomited too much blood, as Mayuki's blows contained an overwhelming power.
Ah, damn! The power of which he'd been able to hit me does not allow me to move. Even my body hurts too much, but I have to be able to withstand blows with 40% of all my power.
Goku would stand up while Mayuki would stare at him. You better not overexert yourself anymore, since your body can be affected, although you have my respect since you've been able to withstand my blows of power.
Is it true that it's impossible for me to beat you right now? But how about taking a hit with all my power? Even with all the power that I'm not able to master?
Wow, that sounds interesting, but to be honest, I doubt you'll exceed 50% of all my power. But I'm waiting for you. Try to grant me your hit. Goku would return to his base state while spitting out some more blood.
This will leave me out of combat for several days, but I don't plan on Mayuki being able to humble me in this way.
Goku would be able to go through each of his transformations, which did not release an amazing power. But by going through the Ultra Instinct, his power began to collect in all his energy veins. While his power seemed to have no limits, instantly several marks had appeared all over Goku's body, which he didn't recognize as celestial ones, and with an incredible roar, Goku was able to access the power beyond the Ultra Instinct Super Saiyan Phase 3.
What do you think of this power? I don't use it since I'm only able to hold it for a maximum of 50 seconds, but in that short time, I've been able to give you a good blow.
Mayuki would be on guard because the power that Goku emanated was amazing. But to everyone's surprise, Goku was able to connect an incredible punch in the stomach by which the power was able to make her kneel. While vomiting large amounts of blood, her gaze became blurred.
What? I'm not able to see anything. He's almost knocked me out. I can't believe this. He's an my power of 50%.
He really has the potential that Son Goku has, because no matter who his opponent is, he's always able to engage and become much more powerful.
Stand up! I want to try this power. I don't have so much time. I'd have planned to let you humble me. At this moment, you've made me irate.
Mayuki would expel 80% of his power, starting to exchange millions of blows with Son Goku, but at the moment, both were very equal. That's right, even though Mayuki had accessed 80% of his power, he wasn't able to get to the lead. This would leave two companions surprised. However, the more the battle went on, Goku would grant him many more blows. Because Mayuki's fury did not let her think clearly, it only repeated over and over again.
This can't be, this can't be! I've trained for millions of years. I can't be that warrior who doesn't surpass 100 years to be able to beat me.
Goku in his carelessness was able to grant him another incredible blow, but the blow on this occasion, Mayuki was able to withstand it, and in the same way connect an incredible blow to Goku, which was able to knock him out of combat, since Goku had been sent flying and would fall to the ground in his base state, while Mayuki began to approach with his companions.
Son Goku has been able to irate me, but you've been aware that the power he possesses is amazing.
Mayuki, are you alright? Your body is expelling too much blood. Mayuki would begin to answer anything, he would fall out of combat as is. So Son Goku's power is so great he's able to beat a Celestial if he doesn't use all his power. This is interesting. His next training will be the last.
Freya, take Mayuki and Son Goku to the castle room so that they will be able to fully recover.
Okay, I'm counting on you. I'll stay here in case you need anything. Mayu would leave with both warriors who were out of combat to heal them and let them recover. Meanwhile, returning to the palace of Zeno-sama, both rulers had been completely corrupted with the thirst for revenge, which had led to the annihilation of each of the planets along with their gods and angels. The only planet that was still intact was the god of Universe 6.
We have to finish with those bastards because I'm sure if we finish with them, the supposed Celestials will come to their aid.
I agree with you, my lord, and since there are no planets, they'll be able to release all their power. We will be able to defeat them.
Returning to planet 6, Vados was very thoughtful. If what happened is true, our father along with Zeno-sama should not take long to come to us, but since we've also broken the rules.
But this isn't fair, since even our brothers who have done nothing has been absorbed by our father.
In that case, we have to be prepared, since I have not been able to communicate with the Celestial.
Do we have to be ready? What do you mean by it? It doesn't matter that we fight together. We're no match for Daishinken, much less the king of all Zeno-sama.
At the moment, a great rumble would shake the entire planet of Champa. That's right, the barrier that Freya had placed was beginning to be attacked by multiple energy attacks of an incredible amount of power.
They've arrived. Alright, now we have to pray that Freya's barrier will be able to save us while they arrive.
I doubt they'll be able to break that barrier easily, but if they continue with that amount of energy, sooner or later they will succeed. Meanwhile, returning to Mayu and Freya, both realized that the barrier that Freya had placed was beginning to receive great damage, which only hinted that the beings of the Kingdom of the Whole had intervened. I knew that damn dwarf and his priest couldn't stand by and do nothing, but this time I'm planning to end their pathetic lives once and for all. I'll accompany you, Freya, since they apparently are both. Don't worry, because if there are 100 of them, they wouldn't be able to do anything against me, because the power of the universe is on my side. The barrier that had been completely destroyed, but instantly a large portal would still form on the planet of Champa, while Freya would arrive on the battlefield exploiting her great power. But in a few moments, she would realize what the beings of the realm of the All had realized. The powerful Freya had been able to get in front of Daishinken and Zeno-sama, with the new negative power able to destroy the barrier that Freya had placed.
You're fucking stupid! You destroyed my barrier in the sense of the sign of the warrior, so right now I'll finish you. Daishinken, take care of her, since with your current power you should be able to execute that talker. She was the promoter of my father dying.
As you order, my lord.
Your father Zeno-sama was an honorable warrior, not a vermin. But you don't have the knowledge. It was your father who ended our lives, and when his divine vein was corrupted by some negative energy.
I don't care what you say, since I was able to see how you ended my father's life. So today, we'll end all of you.
Daishinkan approached, and Freya, annoyed, would anticipate his movement. Giving him a blow, everyone was amazed because Daishinkan didn't need to cover himself to be able to withstand that blow.
Is that all the power of a celestial? Huh, I thought they were much more powerful. That's a shame.
Daishinkan would raise one of his fingers, creating a small sphere of energy, and would throw it at Freya. Although he made every effort to try to stop it, it was impossible, crashing at the base of the planet, exploding and destroying half the planet of the god Champa.
Okay, I'll be more benevolent to you. I'll only use one of my arms so you have a chance to defend yourself.
Damn it, how is it possible that he is able to surpass me?
Freya, upset, would attack Daishinkan, but Daishinkan would only use one of his arms. Freya wasn't able to do anything against him since Zeno-sama destroyed all the planets of the 12 universes. Freya did not have great reserves of energy as the divine beings, and was no match for Daishinkan. Freya would leave a blind spot in her defense, and Daishinkan would take advantage of it, giving her a blow to the stomach, sending her to the planet dragged.
I never saw this coming, as the Celestials were said to possess great powers, but after all, they're just rumors, since your power's miserable.
Freya tried to stand up, but her gaze was blurred, and with too much blood coming out of her, Freya, without caring about the damage, would raise all her power. But it was not a surprising power, and would be upset because she wasn't able to realize all the planets of the 12 universes had been destroyed.
That's all your power? Despite giving you all the time required to channel it, you're a disgrace. I'll finish with you and then finish with those other garbage.
Daishinkan would hold her by the face and sinking her into the ground. Her scream stunned the Universe 6, and in the dimension of the Celestials, Goku would continue his training. With this time, he was able to reach the power beyond an ordinary god, since he mastered the power of the omnipotent god completely.
I've been able to revive you, but I've not given you ordinary knowledge, because that knowledge that I've given you is beyond the gods themselves.
What? How am I able to get all that power? I've trained several millennia in that dimension, but I'm not able to break my limits.
You have to exploit all your mortal energy to become an authentic omnipotent god, so I trust you.
I promise I won't let you down. I'll be the most powerful god, and I'll be able to end the damned who wished for my death. In a short period of time, he's been able to train in that dimension. He was able to master the state of an omnipotent god completely. That interests me about Son Goku. How is he able to contain all this crazy energy reserves? It amazes me. Goku would meditate, but able to reach a new power, he sharpened his senses more, and he would notice Freya's power began to decrease rapidly. Will my senses be okay? Freya's power can't be compared to Daishinkan's, although this is strange. What's going on, Goku? You look thoughtful. Has something happened? Mayu, please. I want you to tell me what happened in Universe 6, because I have a bad feeling about Freya. I know she's powerful, but something's wrong. Don't worry, Goku. You are more relaxed and it's okay. Mayu, please, tell him what's happening. Mayu, with portal energy, was able to see what was happening on the planet of Champa. Everyone was amazed to realize Daishinkan was humiliating Freya completely. Freya was standing with great difficulty and her body was destroyed. What? This must be a mistake. The kingdom of this has never been able to face us. We're the greatest powers of the multiverse. It doesn't matter if it's a mistake or not. This moment, we'll head towards that planet since we can't allow this. The instant those three would come out of that dimension, both Celestials fell to the ground while their power decreased incredibly. What's happening to them? His power's diminished unreal. Goku would instantly look towards the 12 universes, surprised to see the conversation he had with Freya a few months ago. Our power comes from the planets and stars, because being Celestials, the celestial bodies are able to give us energy. Goku's clothes would be completely torn, and the roar of a beast would shake the place. Goku would realize how all the planets had been destroyed without leaving a trace. So those bastards have dared to so much, I'm not interested in calling them kings at all. Right now, I'm gonna end their lives. Goku would stand up, stretch out one of his hands, and would create a great barrier for them so that the energy change isn't so abrupt. Goku, what are you doing? Even if Freya's not able to do something against him, you won't be able to help her. It'll be better for the future to avenge her. While Goku turned his back to her, he would see her a little. I don't allow my people to die so easy. These bastards want war, they'll get war.
They'll face that power that doesn't come from the planets. I also have energy reserves. At an incredible speed, Goku would exceed the speed of light, moving at an unreal speed and being able to reach that battlefield before Daishinkan ended her life. You better say goodbye to this world. Right now, I'm ending your existence.
Even if you end my life, you won't be able to end the lives of my companions, much less Son Goku. You're nothing compared to him.
You'll die, but rest easy, knowing that even your companions won't be able to defeat us since we've destroyed all the planets. Freya was shocked while she vomited more blood.
You bastard! So that's the power to decrease so much. I don't know how you've been able to get that info, but Goku will annihilate you.
Freya, no matter how genius Son Goku is, he can't compare to us who have divine energy and the highest rank. Daishinkan being about to pierce her with a big blow, Goku had been able to get to the side and be able to hold his arm, leaving Daishinkan amazed, as he stopped his blow without difficulty.
What do you think you're doing? If you did, I'd have to end your life, but I've tortured you for all eternity.
Son Goku, if you want to keep your life, you better not meddle in these matters. You won't be able to cope with us.
I'm sure I can finish you off without difficulty.
Goku, despite being at his base state, stopped that blow, and using so much energy would be useless to him. Goku, with an incredible blow, sent him flying to a planet, falling over rocks, generating an explosion, and Goku would hold Freya in his arms. Well, he would transmit energy so she could stand on her own.
Goku, I knew you would come. I didn't know if you had the power to stop him, but deep inside, I knew you'd save me. Thank you. Thank you for keeping me alive.
You were able to give me a chance along with Vados. I didn't have any plans to stop these guys without mercy. At the moment, Zeno-sama began to approach Goku, but as he approached, destruction all over the place was generated.
Goku, I consider you my best friend, but you insist on protecting her. I'll have no choice but to finish you, so you better get out of the way if you value your life.
Ha! I was wanting to measure myself with you. I never thought I'd battle with you, but this battle to the death will be something I'm ready for.
I'm not interested in having the pride of a warrior, since we just want to finish her, so Daishinkan and I will attack you together.
If you are more than a problem, so in that case, attack whenever you want. I'm ready to destroy you one by one. Goku would give Vados and Whis the care of Freya, while he would create a barrier so that battle wouldn't damage them. Goku would give a big smile and increase his power, and would go through each of his transformations, destroying everything around him. That power Goku had this time was able to rebuild the planets, and would leave Zeno-sama amazed.
How have you been able to rebuild these planets I destroyed? You must not possess that ability since you have the title of a king at all.
I don't require a title to generate life or to bring these planets to life. But since this isn't all, this is my true power. Goku roaring would generate a small explosion, being able to access the state of an omnipotent god, leaving everyone surprised and that he was the most powerful state that a god was able to reach, even being considered a new king of the whole.
I won't allow you to keep my position as ruler. I'll create a new era, but for that I'll have to end the old one, so get ready.
Zeno-sama would pounce against Goku and would both begin to exchange millions of blows all over the 12 universes. Their powers devastated Goku's barrier and would present Universe 6 to be exterminated. Daishinkan would recover from the blows, spitting out blood. Son Goku's powers increased in an amazing way, but if we're 2 against 1, he won't be able to do anything. Daishinkan would have joined the fight. Goku would cope with both, but his power would slowly decrease, and Goku noticed this. Apparently I have to end this once and for all. If I lose this power, these bastards will end up with all of us.
What's going on? You've had enough? It's a pity that we have unlimited energy reserves.
Don't say stupid things. I know you're king at all, but even though your power's not completed from the planets, to enhance it if you need it. Goku would begin to attack incredibly with each of his hands, and at that moment, he would exert so much pressure not allowing Zeno-sama or Daishinkan to move. But without giving up, both warriors would channel their best attacks, throwing them towards Goku and clash their powers. But Goku's power decreased. The advantage was beginning to lean towards Zeno-sama and Daishinkan. Even if my body goes to pieces, I don't plan to let them destroy all this. 100% augmented Kaioken! Goku would use his iconic technique to increase his power, being able to destroy the attack of both, disintegrating them. Goku would fall out of combat, being held by Vados. I've not seen what's wrong with you, Goku. I know that you'll be able to bring peace to all the 12 universes. After a while, Super Dragon Balls would be collected by the trio of Celestials, making everything go back to normal. At the precise moment that both Saiyan warriors, the shadow creatures, collided their attacks, the explosion resulting from the collision of the attacks left a crater on the battlefield, while a dense smoke obscured the view. Amidst the haze, Goku with a serious but confident expression, and Vegeta, also with a confident expression of having destroyed the shadow creatures with his attacks, stood on guard, ready to face whatever emerged from the smoke. Suddenly, as soon as the smoke dissipated from the battlefield, the shadowy creatures emerged unharmed, floating in the air with an even more intense presence. Their forms twisted, revealing an even darker and more powerful transformation. Now, with eyes glowing with a more intense light, the shadow creatures uttered a great malevolent laugh and moved towards Goku and Vegeta with renowned ferocity. The sky was covered with dark clouds, and lightning intermittently illuminated the scene. The creatures, once scattered, began to converge into a chaotic mass. Their bodies intertwined and merged, creating a monstrous entity that emanated a dark and malevolent aura. The fusion of the creatures was completed with a loud roar, and before Goku and Vegeta emerged, a nightmarish creature. The fused creature had a grotesque figure, with twisted limbs and glowing eyes filled with evil. Its body was enveloped in a halo of dark energy, which distorted the space around it. The ground shook with every step he took, and the waves of evil energy generated chaos on the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta exchanged determined glances. They knew they faced an unprecedented threat. The fusion of the creatures had given rise to a being of incredible power and speed. Goku frowned, clenching his fists, while Vegeta gave a cocky grin. Kakarot, looks like things have become interesting. I didn't expect to have to face something like this. Yes, Vegeta, this creature's no joke. We're gonna have to give it our all. Both warriors raised their ki to the maximum, surrounding themselves with an intense golden and blue aura. Their hair stood on end and the earth trembled under the pressure of their combined power. The fused creature responded with a guttural laugh and advanced towards them with great strides. Come on, Vegeta, let's attack together and put an end to this! For once, Kakarot, I agree. The battle reached its climax as Goku and Vegeta, enveloped in their golden and blue auras, launched themselves towards the fused creature. Every punch and burst of energy echoed through the air, creating a spectacle of flashes and booms. The creature, however, was not easy to defeat. Its agility and strength were astounding, dodging the Saiyan's attacks with ease. Vegeta, we need to find an opening in its defense! Focus! I know, Kakarot, but this thing's fast! The fused creature responded with a ripping attack, sending the Saiyans flying across the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta, however, quickly recovered and stood up with renewed determination. We can't underestimate this thing! Come on, Vegeta! Let's attack together! Alright, Kakarot. Together we'll defeat it! Goku nodded and they concentrated their energies into an amazing combined attack. A brilliant flash of light and blue light materialized in their hands, growing with each second. The fused creature, seeing the imminent threat, tried to counterattack, but it was too late. Kame! Ah! Final Flash! The powerful beam of combined energy shot towards the fused creature, illuminating the dark battle with its radiance. However, just when impact seemed inevitable, the creature, in the last act of desperation, deployed a dark shield that managed to resist the Saiyan's assault. The result explosion sent Goku and Vegeta flying backwards, returning them to their base form, leaving them dazed and severely injured on the ground. The fused creature, though weakened, struggled to its feet, its malevolent aura flickering, but far from fading completely. Vegeta, we're in trouble! This thing's stronger than we thought! Vegeta, however, lay motionless on the ground with visible wounds and his aura rapidly diminishing. Vegeta! Don't give up, Vegeta! The fused creature, slowly recovering, calmly approached towards Vegeta with a palpable malevolence in its glowing eyes. Your efforts are futile. I'm the amalgam of darkness itself.
This is the end of you, Saiyan Prince.
Goku, full of rage and despair, stood up and threw himself towards the creature with what was left of his strength. However, the creature, with a simple wave of its hand, unleashed a wave of dark energy that enveloped Kakarot and threw him violently to the ground.
Vegeta, we need a plan.
The fused creature approached Vegeta, lifting him off the ground with one hand. The Saiyan Prince, barely conscious, opened his eyes to meet the cold, merciless gaze of his energy.
Kakarot, do whatever it takes.
The fused creature, with a contemptuous gesture, threw Vegeta back to the ground, leaving him on the verge of death. The battle, which had begun with hope, now became bleaker than ever. With his partner down and his own strength waning, Kakarot faced a strength that seemed insurmountable. Goku, sensing the desperation of the situation, recalled the hermit seeds he carried with him. The moment the fused creature came speeding towards him, Goku managed to dodge the blow swiftly, approached Vegeta and handed him one of the valuable seeds. "Vegeta, eat this! It'll give you the energy to keep fighting!" At the same time, Goku also consumed one of the seeds. Vegeta, barely conscious, accepted the seed and consumed it urgently. The hermit seed acted quickly, healing Vegeta's wounds and restoring his life energy. Flashes of golden light surrounded the Saiyan Prince. As he stood up, his eyes were gaining determination.
Kakarot, don't underestimate me. I can keep fighting.
Fine, Vegeta, but we need something else to defeat this creature. Do you remember the fusion technique?
Vegeta frowned but nodded in understanding. Both Saiyans positioned themselves in front of the fused creature, focusing their energies.
Vegeta, let's do it! Let's merge!
I don't think it'll come to this, Kakarot, but I have no choice.
Both warriors stood side by side, raising their hands into the front and began to concentrate their energies. The atmosphere was filled with a brilliant glow as the two Saiyans merged into a single entity. The resulting figure was a perfect combination of Goku and Vegeta, with a powerful golden aura enveloping their fused bodies. This fusion creature showed signs of unease as it witnessed the transformation. The new Saiyan entity turned to it with a determined look. The fusion between Goku and Vegeta, known as Gogeta, and his Super Saiyan form was now evident. Gogeta, with the combined voice of Goku and Vegeta, said, "Prepare for defeat. We're the fusion of the Saiyans, there's nothing we cannot overcome." With a unified shout, the Saiyan fusion lunged towards the fused creature with incredible speed and power. The battle between the Saiyan fusion and the fused creature erupted into a frenzy of power and skill. Every move, every blow, every burst of energy shook the battlefield. The earth trembled under the intensity of the confrontation, and the sky lit up with the sparks of energy released during the fight. Gogeta, with the combination of Goku's cunning and Vegeta's determination, proved to be an unstoppable force. However, the fused creature did not yield easily, showing a resilience that defied expectations. Both contenders were at a stalemate, each pushing their limits to the max. Goku and Vegeta, in their fused form, began to feel the need to unleash more power to overcome their more formidable foe. In a moment of perfect synchronization, both Saiyans raised their ki to the limit, and the atmosphere itself began to be distorted with the built-up pressure.
It's time to take this to the next level!
In a dazzling flash, the Saiyan fusion underwent an astonishing metamorphosis. His once golden hair now turned sapphire blue, and his aura took on a heavenly hue. The transformation to Super Saiyan Blue had taken place. The fused creature recoiled momentarily as it witnessed the new form. Shocked by the magnitude of the power unleashed, however, the Saiyan fusion showed no mercy and lunged towards with dizzying speed.
Prepare for true Saiyan strength!
The attacks and counterattacks reached a speed that defied perception. The fused creature, despite its previous endurance, was outmatched by the speed and aggressiveness of the Saiyan fusion in its Super Saiyan Blue form. The battle had not yet come to an end. In a final attempt to resist, the fused creature unleashed its own dark power, enveloping the Saiyan fusion in a spiral of chaotic energy. Gogeta, in response, concentrated his energy to the maximum in an act of rage.
Let's go farther!
The energy surrounding the Saiyan fusion intensified and exploded in a dazzling burst. The bright blue aura became more intense, and the power of the Saiyan fusion increased to unimaginable levels. The sky lit up with glows and waves of energy as the fused creature faced Gogeta's unstoppable strength. However, in an unexpected twist, the creature began to build up a dark and sinister energy, revealing a hidden power.
Your resistance is impressive, Saiyans, but you have not seen my true potential.
The fused creature transformed, its fusion distorting further. A black aura filled with malevolence surrounded its body as its eyes glowed with terrifying intensity.
What the hell is it doing?
The fused creature, now imbued with a new dark power, lunged at Gogeta with surprising speed. Despite Gogeta's formidable strength in his Super Saiyan Blue form, the fused creature seemed to be able to anticipate even more.
Now you'll experience true darkness.
Gogeta sensed the threat, deciding to take his own power to the extreme. In a blink of an eye, he activated the technique, the Kaioken. His blue aura multiplied into a mixture of blue and red, and the intensity of the battle reached levels never seen before.
It's time to put an end to this! Kaioken!
Gogeta's speed and strength multiplied exponentially, and the fused creature was momentarily caught off guard. However, the creature counterattacked with a blast of dark energy that enveloped Gogeta, but he struggled to resist. Gogeta, in his Kaioken state, felt the need to raise his power even higher. Thus, his ki increased, causing the earth to tremble from such immense power, destroying mountains and lifting rocks into the skies. At that precise moment, he disappeared from the sight of the fused creature, appearing from behind and creating a glowing bluish sphere of energy that materialized between his hands.
Final Kamehameha!
The energy sphere impacted against the fused creature with unparalleled force. The resulting explosion lit up the sky, dispersed the creature's dark energy. However, when the light faded, the fused creature emerged once again, albeit visibly weakened.
Do not underestimate my power, Saiyans. I have attained a form beyond your comprehension.
Gogeta, sensing the gravity of the situation, prepared for the next confrontation. The battle, far from over, was entering even more dangerous terrain, with the fate of the universe hanging in the balance in this fierce struggle between light and darkness. The battlefield was plunged into utter chaos, with destructive shockwaves reverberating throughout space. Gogeta, with his combined aura of Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken, was moving at speeds that defied perception. The fused creature, despite his new enhanced form, was momentarily outmatched by the Saiyan warrior's speed.
Darkness cannot defeat light! It's time to seal your fate!
Though weakened, the fused creature did not give up. With impressive speed, it lunged towards Gogeta, unleashing a series of dark attacks that even defied the Kaioken's speed.
Your light is but a fleeting glimmer. In the eternity of darkness, you will suffer.
Gogeta, with sharp reflexes at precise moments, will dodge the fused creature's attacks. The battle reached an even greater frenzy, with a clash of fists and kicks creating waves of energy that swept the surrounding landscape. The once dark and stormy sky were illuminated by the flashes on the contest. In the beginning of the moment of opportunity, Gogeta channeled the Kaioken to an even higher level. His aura became more intense, mixing blue with red in a dazzling display. Seeing the new burst of power, the fused creature recoiled momentarily, a moment Gogeta took advantage of to gather energy.
This is the limit of your darkness. Prepare for the end.
Gogeta, with unmatched speed, appeared in front of the fused creature, concentrating his energy to a single point. A glowing sphere of energy formed between his hands, but this time, the sphere was not blue, it was a mixture of colors. A fusion of the power of Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken.
Kaioken 20 times! Final Kamehameha!
The now larger, more powerful energy sphere hurled with impressive speed towards the fused creature. The resulting explosion illuminated the entire horizon, causing the mountains and valleys to be enveloped in a dazzling glow. When the light faded, the fused creature lay defeated on the ground. Its dark aura completely dissipated. Gogeta, with his Super Saiyan Blue form and Kaioken still activated, watched cautiously. The intense battle had come to an end, but the price of the confrontation was reflected in the devastated earth and the wear and tear visible on the Saiyan warrior.
I hope that was enough. This universe can't take any more of this destruction.
With a flash, Gogeta deactivated the Kaioken and returned to his base form. As silence descended over the battlefield, the lingering question was whether the threat had truly been eliminated or if there was still challenges to be faced in the vast cosmos. Goku and Vegeta, feeling that the threat had been neutralized for the moment, separated from the Saiyan fusion. The intensity of the battle had left both Saiyans exhausted, but their attention was diverted to a disturbing reality. In the corner of their vision, they watched as a small dark creature made its way towards where Gohan and Broly were standing.
Vegeta, something's happening! We must get there fast!
Those two are in trouble if that thing gets to them. Let's go, Goku! Both Saiyans, despite their exhaustion, dashed towards Gohan and Broly's location with as much speed as possible. As they approached, they could see the dark creature getting closer and closer to the two warriors. Gohan, who was training with Broly in an attempt to increase his skills, noticed Goku and Vegeta's arrival urgently.
Dad! Vegeta! Something's coming!
Broly, with his piercing gaze, had also sensed the approaching threat. Evil creature, we will fight! The small dark creature, noticing the presence of the Saiyans, stopped advancing and displayed a malevolent laugh.
Ha ha ha! Your victory was short-lived. This is only the first of many surprises.
Before they could react, the dark creature split into multiple smaller shadows, surrounding Gohan and Broly with astonishing speed.
Watch out, Broly! They're fast and dangerous!
We will fight! We won't let them defeat us! Goku and Vegeta, arriving just in time, joined the battle. The battle became a chaotic dance of blows and explosions as the Saiyans fought the dark shadows that multiplied endlessly. Let's finish this quickly! Gohan, Broly, stay strong!
Got it, Vegeta!
Broly, unleashing his titanic power, emitted a wave of energy that temporarily dispersed the dark shadows. However, the dark creature, in a final act of desperation, merged back into a larger, more powerful form. My shadows cannot be so easily defeated. The real battle has just begun. The shadow creature, now strengthened and more menacing than ever, faced the four Saiyan warriors with palpable malevolence. Gohan, Broly, Goku, and Vegeta moved into battle stance, facing the shadow creature with determination.
Come on, guys! Let's work together and put an end to this menace once and for all!
Broly growled in agreement, his power emanating from him with an imposing force. Goku and Vegeta, despite their earlier exhaustion, raised their energies ready for the battle ahead. The shadow creature, with a sinister laugh, lunged towards them with surprising speed. The Saiyans responded with a coordinated assault, launching energy blasts and performing combo attacks. However, the shadow creature was agile and dodged their attacks with ease. We can't let this thing get away. Concentrate on attacking together.
You're right, Vegeta. If we fight them as a team, we can overcome anything.
The four Saiyans synchronized their movements, attacking in harmony. Broly unloaded titanic blows. Gohan used his agility and advanced techniques, while Goku and Vegeta coordinated their energies to create a combined assault. Despite their efforts, the shadow creature proved to be resilient and adaptable. It defended with cunning and counterattacked with fury. In a moment of tension, the shadow creature unleashed a dark glow that enveloped its form, transforming to an even more powerful and monstrous version.
It's getting stronger again!
It doesn't matter. I'll destroy it! The battle intensified as the shadow creature and its enhanced form launched waves of dark energy and unleashed more devastating attacks. The Saiyans, however, did not back down. Despite the gravity of the situation, their determination burned stronger than ever.
There's no limit to our strength when we fight together! Come on, guys, we can't lose!
This thing doesn't know who it's messing with. Get ready for what's coming! Gohan, Broly, Goku, and Vegeta channeled their energies to the maximum, shaking the earth under the intensity of their combined power. In a unified act, the four Saiyans raised their ki to the limit and lunged towards the shadow creature with indomitable resolve. The shadow creature, now in its strengthened form, unleashed a dark energy that enveloped Broly, possessing the mighty Saiyan with a malevolent influence. Broly, his eyes now awash with shadows, stood before the other Saiyans with a menacing presence.
Broly, I won't let you be used as a puppet. We must save him. We won't let this thing manipulate Broly. Come on, guys, let's protect ourselves and save our friend.
This is getting more complicated than I thought. But no matter, we won't let the darkness win. The battle began with the shadow creature using Broly's immense power against them. The controlled Saiyans' attacks were fierce, with waves of energy and bursts of ki that challenged even the most experienced warriors. The Saiyans dodged and counterattacked, but the shadow creature took advantage of Broly's brute strength to counter his moves.
We must weaken it enough to free Broly! Dad, Vegeta, let's follow the plan and attack in unison!
The three Saiyans coordinated, launching a series of swift and powerful attacks. However, the shadow creature moved with agility, dodging most of the blows and countering with blows of its own. Broly, under the influence of the Dark Possession, was showing superhuman endurance.
It's not enough! Broly, fight against this influence!
We must force him to break free. We're gonna give it our all. In a moment of desperation, the Saiyans decided to raise their powers to the maximum. Goku transformed into Super Saiyan second stage, Gohan advanced his mystical form, and Vegeta unleashed his own power into Super Saiyan second stage. The three Saiyans surrounded Broly, launching a combination of flurry of powerful attacks.
Broly, resist! Don't let their darkness consume you!
The shadow creature, feeling the combined presence of the three Saiyan warriors, showed signs of weakness. However, in a desperate act, the dark energy intensified its hold on Broly, raising its power even higher, unleashing unbridled fury.
We can't give up! We're going to free Broly, whatever it takes!
The battle reached its climax as the three Saiyan warriors, Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta, clashed against the shadow creature possessing Broly. The unleashed energy created a spectacle of flashes, explosions, and shockwaves that shook the battlefield. Goku, with his power as a Super Saiyan, moved with astonishing speed, launched energy blasts and accurate punches at the shadow creature. Gohan, in his mystical form, unleashed a combination of fast attacks and advanced techniques, seeking to weaken the dark possession that controlled Broly. Vegeta, in his Super Saiyan second phase form, displayed titanic power, coordinating his attacks with calculated precision.
Broly, listen to my voice! Don't be consumed by this darkness!
The shadow creature, however, resisted tenaciously, harnessing Broly's brute strength and ferocity to counter the Saiyans' attacks. Broly, under the Dark Possession, responded with unstoppable strength, his attacks more intense and uncontrolled.
We need to weaken that possession! Come on, guys, keep up the pressure!
This dark power won't last forever. We must resist! The battle grew more frantic. With each passing moment, the shadow creature, sensing the threat of the Saiyans, intensified its hold on Broly, fusing its dark energy with the brute strength of the legendary Saiyan.
We can't back down now! Broly's our friend, and we won't let this darkness control him!
In a moment of perfect synchronization, the three Saiyans focused their energies into a coordinated attack. Goku launched a Kamehameha, Gohan unleashed a Masenko, and Vegeta fired a final flash, all aimed at the shadow creature. The resulting explosion illuminated the battlefield, creating an energy storm. However, when the light faded, the shadow creature Broly still stood, visibly weakened but far from defeated.
It's not enough! We must find a way to free Broly from this possession!
At that moment, the shadow creature, taking advantage of the Saiyan's momentary weakness, launched a surprise attack, sending Goku and Gohan to the ground. Vegeta, with his rage in his eyes, stood up determined. Enough's enough! We won't let this thing continue to manipulate Broly. Vegeta concentrated his ki to the maximum, unleashing a new transformation. His intense blue aura transformed into an even brighter and more powerful hue. Super Saiyan Blue! The atmosphere itself seemed to tremble at the magnitude of the transformation. Vegeta, now in his evolved form, launched himself towards the shadow creature with renewed speed and power. Vegeta's transformation in Super Saiyan Blue Evolved caused a dramatic change in the intensity of the battle. His bright blue aura flashed with overwhelming energy as he charged towards the shadowy creature and Broly, who was still under his influence. It's time to put an end to this. Broly, I'll fight to free you from this darkness. The shadow creature, sensing the threat posed by Super Saiyan Blue, adopted a defensive stance. On the other hand, Broly, his eyes still darkened, prepared to face Vegeta. Vegeta unleashed a flurry of quick and precise attacks, combining punches and kicks with astonishing speed. Each move was charged with the strength of the new form, and the shadow creature was forced to retreat in the face of Vegeta's fury. Broly, regain control. I'll not allow this darkness to consume you. Broly, under the influence of the Dark Possession, responded with impressive stamina. His attacks were brutal and uncontrolled, but Vegeta moved with a dexterity that defied expectations. I need to find an opening in this possession. In an act of bravery, Vegeta launched himself directly towards Broly. Their fists collided forcefully, and Vegeta, using all his skill, made precise strikes that temporarily weakened the dark influence.
Broly, fight this! You're stronger than this darkness!
The shadowy creature, seeing Vegeta's resistance, increased his energy and fused even more with Broly. Now the dark influence was more entrenched than ever, and Broly unleashed an explosion of wild power.
You can't stop me, Saiyan Prince!
Vegeta, not backing down, continued to engage Broly. The battle reached new heights as both warriors unleashed their most powerful attacks. Vegeta launched a Big Bang attack while Broly responded with a gigantic charge of dark energy. The collision of energies generated a huge explosion that blanketed the area. After the dust settled, Vegeta lay on the ground, clearly exhausted but not giving up.
I can't lose. My determination's stronger than your darkness.
The battle between Vegeta and Broly, who was possessed by the shadow creature, reached a critical point. The overflowing energy of the confrontation was spreading across the battlefield, distorting the air and creating palpable tension. At that crucial moment, Goku found himself regaining consciousness, stood up, and immediately went to Saiyan Prince's side.
Vegeta, let's go! Let's give it all we've got!
Goku's transformation into Super Saiyan Phase 2 and joined the fray. The shadow creature, seeing the arrival of another Saiyan warrior, prepared to face the new threat.
Kakarot, you're just in time. This thing has gotten stronger with Broly.
We'll face it together! Broly, we won't let this darkness control you!
The three Saiyans stood in formation, ready to deal with the shadow creature fused with Broly. The intensity of the conflict increased even more, with flashes of energy and clashes of fists echoing throughout the battlefield.
Come on, Kakarot, let's attack in unison and free Broly.
I got it, Vegeta! Together, we'll free him!
The Saiyans coordinated their attacks, launching a combined blast towards the shadow creature. Despite their efforts, Broly's dark possession was still resisting, fueled by the brute strength of the legendary Saiyan. Broly, under the influence of the shadow creature, unleashed an uncontrolled fury. His attacks were unpredictable and devastating, putting the Saiyans on the defensive. Goku, Vegeta, and the shadow creature continued to exchange energy blasts and powerful blows.
Vegeta, we must break that possession! We can't let Broly fall into darkness!
Roger that, Kakarot. Let's keep attacking together.
Amidst the chaos of the battlefield, the fiery aura of the Saiyans lit up the sky, a visual manifestation of their mammoth power. Goku and Vegeta, feeling the weight of the battle, decided to take it a step further. They joined their energies in a symphony of power, a final bid to tear apart the shadows enveloping the evil presence. The shadow creature on the brink of the abyss responded with desperation. It raised its own power, and the darkness churned with intensity as it struggled to resist the combined onslaught of the Saiyans. The clash of energies created a cataclysm of flashes and booms, shaking the battlefield to its core. At that critical moment, the energy explosion was unleashed with dazzling magnificence. The earth shook, and the shockwaves swept across the landscape, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, enveloped in the blanket of the explosion, were momentarily eclipsed by the blinding light and dancing shadow. When the shimmering luminosity faded, the Saiyans found themselves faced with a new scenario. On the ground lay Broly, his figure shrouded in a residual haze of the contest. The dark aura that had consumed him had finally dissipated. Stillness reigned on the battlefield. As the warriors approached with worried looks, the formidable warrior who now resisted, his power darkened, finally silenced.
We did it, Vegeta! Broly's free!
Yes, but this shadow creature's still a problem. We can't let our guard down.
Vegeta nodded grimly as they watched Broly, who lay on the ground, slowly recovering from the intense battle. However, at that moment of apparent calm, the shadow creature, cunning and unnoticed, had left Broly's possession to seek a new host. The dark entity swiftly swept into the shadows, unnoticed by the Saiyans, who still assessing their companion's condition. Silently, the shadow creature crept towards Gohan, who had been watching the battle from a distance. Gohan, oblivious to the threat looming over him, felt a shiver run down his spine just as the shadow creature enveloped him with its dark presence. A momentary flash of its eyes indicated that something was terribly wrong. At that instant, Gohan, with a sudden alteration in his expression, went on guard without warning. His gaze, now posed by the shadow creature, glowed with a malevolence that contrasted with his gentle nature. Goku, noticing the sudden tension, turned towards Gohan, but before he could react, Gohan, under the influence of the Shadow Creature, moved with supernatural speed. The confrontation with Broly had left the Saiyans exhausted, and the Shadow Creature, seizing the opportunity, vanished into the darkness along with Gohan. Vegeta, realizing the situation, gritted his teeth in fury. The threat persisted, and now Gohan, a valuable ally, was in the hands of the Shadows. Goku and Vegeta, despite their exhaustion, prepared for a new confrontation, aware that the battle had not yet come to an end. The tension in the air was palpable, as Goku and Vegeta, still worried about Broly, with determination, turned towards the place where the Dark Entity had vanished.
Damn it, where'd that thing go?
I don't know, Vegeta, but we must find it before it hurts Gohan.
The two Saiyans, quick as the wind, rushed towards where Gohan had been standing, their senses alert. The Shadow Creature, now inside Gohan, emerged from the shadows with a sinister laugh.
Looks like they're not as cunning as they thought. Now I have a new toy for my plans. Get out of Gohan, you damn creature.
I'll not allow you to possess my son!
Ha! You think you could stop me? My power possesses even more of your combined forces. Do not underestimate the Saiyans. We have overcome greater challenges than you.
Leave Gohan and face your fate, creature. You'll not be victorious.
The Shadow Creature, now in control of Gohan, smiled malevolently before responding.
We'll see how long you can resist. Gohan is now an instrument of my will.
The Shadow Creature possessing Gohan unleashed a burst of dark energy that distorted the surrounding space. Goku and Vegeta suddenly found themselves during a chaotic confrontation, with Gohan now transformed into an instrument of the malevolent entity. The waves of energy radiating from Gohan's possessed figure created an ominous aura that filled the battlefield, defying the Saiyans' endurance and determination. The Saiyans, in their Super Saiyan Blue form, prepared for the impending clash. The Shadow Creature, using Gohan's body, moved with supernatural agility, dodging the Saiyans' first attacks with grace and malice. Gohan, his eyes now filled with darkness, lunged at Goku with astonishing speed. Goku blocked Gohan's first few blows with difficulty, feeling the enhanced strength and speed of his new controlled son. The fight was intense, each move charged with power and ferocity. Meanwhile, Vegeta positioned himself strategically, assessing the situation, looking for an opening to attack. The Shadow Creature, through Gohan, unleashed a flurry of attack, which devastating blows that kept Goku on the defensive. However, Goku's ability to adapt quickly to the battle allowed him to counter the attacks and counterattack with his own overwhelming power. Vegeta, sensing an opportunity, lunged at the Shadow Creature from an unexpected angle. However, the Dark Entity had sharp reflexes and deflected Vegeta's attack with ease, throwing Gohan against Goku as a distraction. The Shadow Creature's strategy paid off, as it took advantage of the distraction to hit Vegeta with a beam of dark energy. Vegeta, although he resisted the impact, was momentarily weakened. The entity, now with a malevolent smile, turned to him.
Damn it! This isn't over, Shadow Creature.
Goku, reacting quickly, stepped between the Shadow Creature and Vegeta.
Vegeta, hold on! We can't let this thing divide us.
The Shadow Creature, enjoying the chaos at its zone, released a dark aura that enveloped both Saiyans. The dark energy sought to confuse and weaken their senses, however the Saiyans' instinctive connection to Ki enabled them to resist the dark influence. The battle raged in a frenzy of clashing colors and energies. Gohan, controlled by the Shadow Creature, moved with a mixture of speed and agility that defied the laws of physics. Goku and Vegeta, each focusing on their own battlefront, were trying to coordinate their attacks to free Gohan from the dark possession.
Gohan, fight this darkness! You're stronger than this!
Gohan, though showing flashes of resistance, was caught in an internal struggle between his will and the Shadow Creature's control. The battle grew more challenging. With each passing second, the Shadow Creature reveled in its ability to manipulate and corrupt one of Earth's mightiest warriors. Vegeta, recovering from the earlier onslaught, threw himself back into the fray. The Shadow Creature, however, anticipated his attack and gracefully dodged Vegeta's attempts to strike it. The Dark Entity counterattacked with a series of precise blows that forced Vegeta to retreat.
You damn Shadow, don't underestimate the Prince of the Saiyans.
Goku, seeing his partner's difficulty, raised his power to the maximum. Dazzling energy emanated from his Super Saiyan Blue form as he prepared for a concentrated attack. The Shadow Creature, noticing the glowing threat, diverted its attention to Goku.
Vegeta, keep up the pressure. I'm gonna concentrate my energy to free Gohan.
Vegeta nodded and increased his offensive, distracting the shadow creature as Goku concentrated his power. The fight reached a new level of intensity, with each move echoing across the vast battlefield. The energy collided, creating shockwaves that distorted reality itself. Goku, eyes glowing with determination, unleashed his most powerful attack. A sphere of glowing blue energy formed in his outstretched hands. Charged with the combined strength of the Saiyans, the spear grew in size and the power as Goku had held it in place.
It's time to free Gohan!
The shadow creature, realizing the threat, moved quickly to stop Goku's attack. Vegeta, taking advantage of the distraction, lunged with renewed fury, looking for an opening to attack. The battle reached its climax when Goku released the energy sphere, ascending it directly towards the shadow creature. The energy sphere burst into a dazzling flash, illuminating the battlefield with intense light. Shockwaves swept through the darkness as Goku's purifying energy sought to free Gohan from the shadow creature's possession. However, as the light faded and the earth stopped shaking, the shadow creature emerged seemingly unharmed. The dark entity, now irritated, turned to the Saiyans with a twisted laugh.
Is that all you can do? My power is unbreakable.
Goku and Vegeta, despite their exhaustion, prepared for the next assault. The battle, far from ending, dragged on into confrontation of epic proportions. Darkness and light collided in an endless clash, with the will of the Saiyans resisting against the entity that threatened to plunge them into the shadows. The dark creature, after resisting Goku's powerful attack, showed a malicious smile. A dark glow enveloped Gohan, and his body began to tremble with intensity. A guttural scream echoed through the air as the dark entity forced a unique transformation on the Saiyan warrior. Gohan, under the shadow creature's influence, contorted and his body was enveloped in a dark, feral energy. The earth trembled with the intensity of the transformation, and Gohan's figure began to change. Defined musculature, red eyes, a wild gaze, long gray hair, and emerging in the new form, Gohan Dark Beast. Vegeta and Goku, shocked by the unexpected evolution, instinctively recoiled from the overwhelming presence of Dark Gohan Beast. The shadow creature had accomplished what it could not do with Broly, unleash a unique and uncontrolled transformation on Gohan. Dark Beast Gohan, now freed from any hint of rationality, roared skyward, emitting an overwhelming energy that shook the battlefield. His eyes glowed with an animalistic intensity, and his posture indicated that human control was suppressed.
This can't be happening. What did that thing do?
The shadow creature managed to unlock something inside Gohan. This won't be easy.
The shadow creature, pleased with the success of its manipulation, watched the scene with satisfaction.
Now, witness my true power. The Saiyan Beast Warrior. How do you plan to stop him?
Dark Beast Gohan let out a deafening roar and lunged towards Vegeta with impressive speed. Dark Beast Gohan's attacks were ferociously savage, his brute strength and speed surpassing even Broly's most rampaging transformation. Vegeta, using his speed and agility, dodged Dark Beast Gohan's first attacks. However, the Saiyan Beast Warrior's ferocity was unpredictable, and Vegeta was forced to deploy all his skill to stay out of range of the devastating attacks. Goku, assessing the situation, transformed into Super Saiyan Blue and rushed to Vegeta's aid. The two Saiyans fought in tactical coordination, looking to open an opportunity to counter Gohan's savage new form. The battle became a whirlwind of energy, with explosions and crashes echoing across the battlefield. The shadow creature in the shadows continued to manipulate and fuel Dark Beast Gohan's fury. The Saiyan strategy was becoming more and more challenging as Dark Beast Gohan seemed to be one step ahead, anticipating their moves.
Damn it! Gohan Beast is too unpredictable.
We must find a way to free Gohan from this transformation. We can't let the shadow control his true power.
As the Saiyans faced Gohan Beast's fury, the shadow creature watched from the shadows, enjoying the chaos he had unleashed. The situation was becoming more critical with each passing moment, and the Saiyans' endurance was being tested in the face of Beast Gohan's uncontrollable fury. The battle raged on in a titanic struggle between light and darkness, with the hope of freeing Gohan from the influence of the shadow creature hanging in delicate balance. The Saiyans, determined to overcome this challenge, faced an enemy that had managed to unleash an even greater internal threat than before. While the intense battle raged on the battlefield, Piccolo, the Namekian sage, was immersed in his mental training somewhere secluded. His concentration was so deep that he could feel an abrupt shift in ki, a disturbance that reverberated through space and time. A shiver ran down his back, indicating the gravity of the situation.
Something's not right.
The Namekian instantly stood up, his cloak billowing as he focused on the direction of the glowing chaos. The power he felt was not just brute force. It was an amalgam of dark energies that seemed to defy the very essence of reality. Wasting no time, Piccolo prepared to approach this side of the conflict. Back on the battlefield, Goku and Vegeta fought valiantly against Dark Beast Gohan, who moved with uncontrollable ferocity under the influence of the Shadow Creature. The Dark Entity, sensing Piccolo's arrival, smirked.
Looks like we have a new guest. This just gets more interesting.
Goku and Vegeta focused on Gohan Beast, noticing Piccolo's presence as he appeared on the battlefield with a serenity that contrasted with the surrounding chaos.
What happened here? What have you done with Gohan? That shadow thing possessed Gohan and transformed it into a wild beast.
We can't free Gohan this way. The Shadow Creature manipulates his power in unimaginable ways.
Dark Beast Gohan, noticing Piccolo's arrival, turned to him with wild eyes. The Shadow Creature, enjoying the chaos, prepared for the next act of this heartbreaking play.
Welcome, Piccolo. You're just in time to witness the inevitable downfall of these Saiyans. Don't underestimate the Saiyans or my determination. I'm here to free Gohan.
The Namekian braced himself for the confrontation, deploying his ki with an intensity that made it clear he would not be a mere spectator in this battle. Dark Beast Gohan, fueled by the shadowy influence, roared and lunged towards Piccolo with a speed that defied all logic. The battle became even more chaotic with Piccolo's entrance. His movements were precise and calculated, contrasting with the wild ferocity of Dark Beast Gohan. Goku and Vegeta, aware of Piccolo's strategic skill, adjusted their approach to coordinate their attacks with the Namekian. Meanwhile, the Shadow Creature watched the battle with a Machiavellian smile, enjoying the confrontation between the forces of light and shadow. The Dark Entity was determined to prove that its influence was insurmountable. The fight unfolded in a whirlwind of colliding energies, with Piccolo demonstrating his tactical and strategic prowess. Dark Beast Gohan, however, remained a formidable challenge, his erratic movements and uncontrolled strength testing the tenacity of the warriors on the battlefield.
Goku, Vegeta, we need to plan to break the connection between Gohan and that Shadow Creature.
You're right, Piccolo. We need to attack from different fronts and destabilize that connection.
I'll take care of keeping Beast Gohan busy. Kakarot, you use the connection you have with your son to try to isolate the Shadow Creature.
Goku and Vegeta, coordinating their efforts with Piccolo's strategic expertise, went on the assault. Piccolo used his wisdom to be able to devise a way to get Dark Beast Gohan out of said possession, while Vegeta unleashed his fury with calculated attacks to keep the beast at bay. As the battle continued, the Shadow Creature began to feel the pressure of the combined strategy of the Saiyans and Piccolo. The connection between Gohan and the Dark Entity was under threat, and the Shadow Creature, despite its confidence, was beginning to show signs of concern. The battle was far from over, but the warriors' resilience was growing stronger in the face of the adversity that loomed over them. As Piccolo continued his mental struggle to free Gohan from the Shadow Creature's possession, his Namekian senses sharpened. Keen perception led him to identify a small shadow leech clinging to Dark Beast Gohan's lower neck, a detail that had not been evident in Broly's previous possession due to his long hair covering that region.
That's it. The key in this little shadow leech on his neck. We must eliminate it to free Gohan.
Piccolo's revelation attracted the attention of Vegeta and Goku on the physical battlefield. Vegeta, upon hearing this, turned his gaze to the back of Gohan Beast's dark neck and noticed the presence of the Shadow Leech.
A Shadow Leech? That explains why we couldn't free Broly this way.
How do we eliminate it without harming Gohan?
As Piccolo struggled to maintain his mental connection, he analyzed this situation and came up with a strategy.
If we attack the Shadow Leech directly, we might harm Gohan in the process. We need a precise way to eliminate it without endangering his life. So what's the plan, Piccolo? Goku, you've mastered Ultra Instinct, but you can only maintain it for a few seconds. We need to take advantage of those brief moments to distract Dark Beast Gohan and allow you to get close enough to destroy the Shadow Leech.
Understood, Piccolo. I'll do my best.
But how do we make sure Beast Gohan doesn't attack while Kakarot's approaching? That's the tricky part. We need to keep Gohan busy and distracted. Vegeta, your attacks must be precise and constant, keeping his attention on you. I will, but Kakarot, don't make me regret this.
The battle resumed with renowned intensity. Vegeta went on the offensive, attacking Gohan Dark Beast with a series of swift and powerful blows. Gohan responded with ferocity, but Vegeta maintained agile, dodging his attacks while keeping the Savage Saiyan warrior's attention. At that moment, Goku concentrated, channeling Ultra Instinct. An aura of flickering energy surrounded him as he activated the powerful transformation. His speed increased exponentially, allowing him to easily dodge Dark Beast Gohan's attacks.
Now, Goku, now's your chance.
Goku in his Ultra Instinct state moved with superhuman speed towards Gohan's rear. The shadow creature, still focused on the fierce confrontation with Vegeta, did not notice Goku's approach. This is my chance to end this! With pinpoint accuracy, Goku reached out his hand and touched the small shadow leech on Gohan's neck. The leech, upon being touched by the Ultra Instinct energy, began to fade, emitting a dark screech before dissolving completely. Dark Beast Gohan, losing connection with the Shadow Leech, shook violently, as if releasing himself from a trance. Vegeta, noticing the change, cautiously stepped back as Goku returned to his normal state. What happened?
Kakarot seems to have found a way to free you from that thing.
It was risky, but it worked.
Well done, Goku, but don't let your guard down. This shadow creature might have more tricks up its sleeve.
The immediate threat had been neutralized. The shadow creature, watching from the shadows, moving away unnoticed by the Saiyan warriors, was not about to give up, so the shadow creature set out to return to its master. After the terrifying moment that the Z warriors had experienced, Goku and Vegeta realized that Beerus and Whis were not on Earth. They had disappeared just moments before the shadow creatures appeared on Earth. This is because Daishinkan discovered that Zeno-sama had been killed by his father and immediately summoned all the angels and gods of destruction. In the majestic realm of all, Daishinkan, the high priest, summoned all the angels and gods of destruction of the existing universes. The atmosphere in the hall was unusually tense, and concern was reflected in the faces of those present. Daishinkan, with his usual calmness, prepared to share the disturbing truth he had discovered.
Angels and gods of destruction, the time has come to face a powerful truth. Zeno-sama, our beloved king of all, has been slain.
Silence fell over the hall. The angels and the gods of destruction exchanged looks of disbelief and dismay. No one expected that such a tragedy could occur, especially at the hands of someone so powerful.
My investigation revealed that the one responsible for this abominable act was Zeno-sama's own father.
The news resounded like a somber echo in the room. Everyone present processed the shocking revelation. The omnipresent figure of Zeno-sama, the supreme deity, had been shattered by his own protagonist. Mohito, Sidra's angel, spoke in a worried voice. How is it possible that a being as powerful as Zeno-sama's father could have committed such an act?
That is a question for which I still have no answers. But now we must face the consequences of this event. The stability of the multiverse is in danger.
Arak, the god of destruction of Quitella, asked, "And what measures will we take in the face of this threat? What'll happen to the throne of Zeno-sama?"
That is a question we must discuss and resolve. For now, the throne remains empty, and our duty is to maintain peace and balance. But before we make hasty decisions, we need to fully understand the magnitude of this situation.
Beerus and Whis prepared to inform the gods of destruction and angels of all universes about what they had witnessed while on planet Earth with Goku and Vegeta. The hall of the realm of everything was filled with celestial beings, each one expectant and worried about the news they were about to receive.
Attention everyone! We have crucial information to share about the events that have been unfolded.
Before we are summoned here, the father of Zeno-sama appeared on all the planets of the multiverse. Surprise was reflected on the faces of those present. Murmurs and whispers filled the room, as the gods of destruction and angels exchanged looks of disbelief. His visit was not simply to report the death of Zeno-sama. He announced the holding of the tournament that would determine the survival of the planets in each universe. Additional rumors filled the room, creating a constant buzz of concern. The gods of destruction and angels wanted to understand the implications of such an announcement.
He informed the rules of the tournament and the intentions behind such a competition, but it's necessary that we all work together to get answers and face this threat. It is time to join forces and overcome this crisis. The fate of our universes is at stake. As the gods and angels absorbed the gravity of the situation, in every corner of the hall of the realm of everything, conversations and plans were brewing to confront the mysterious tournament that threatened to upset the balance of the multiverse. Uncertainty hung in the air, but the determination of the divine beings was determined to face the unknown that lay ahead. In the Hall of Everything, Daishinkan, the High Priest, sensed the imminent arrival of extremely powerful entities heading for the different planets of the multiverse. His face reflected seriousness as he prepared to inform all the angels and gods of destruction present of the coming threat. Gods and angels of destruction, the time has come to face a new and challenging threat. Entities of great power are headed towards the planets of our universes, and their goal seems to be a direct confrontation with the strongest warriors of each world. The expressions of those present became serious. Aware of the gravity of the situation, Daishinkan continued with determination. It's crucial that we move quickly to protect the strongest warriors of each planet, regardless of which universe they belong to. The threat we face does not respect universal boundaries, and we must act with unity to preserve the balance.
Vados, the Angel of Champa, raised his hand.
How do you plan for us to move, Daishinkan? We each have responsibilities in our universes. I understand the complexity of this situation, but the magnitude of this threat requires immediate action. I suggest that every angel and god of destruction move to the planets threatened by this unknown force. We must prevent the strongest warriors from being defeated before we can fully understand our enemies.
Sounds like a sensible plan, Daishinkan. If we all work together, we can protect our warriors and gain more information about these powerful entities. Each angel and god of destruction nodded in agreement, accepting the need to act immediately. They moved quickly to the various planets, casting aside universal barriers in a joint effort to safeguard the multiverse.
May the wisdom and power of each of you guide this effort. Let us not underestimate this new threat. Our duty is to protect the existence of our universes.
With those words, the angels and gods of destruction dispersed, leaving the Hall of All in preparation to face a challenge that transcended universal boundaries and demanded the collaboration of all divine beings. Uncertainty hung in the air, but determination to preserve the balance of the multiverse guided the powerful beings in their joint mission. The angels and gods of destruction quickly teleported to the threatened planets, each determined to protect the strongest warriors on the various planets. In the blink of an eye, the skies lit up with flashes of divine energy as Awamo and Ewin, Cognac and Quitella, Matanu and Geen, Wissambiris, and the other angels and gods of destruction headed toward their assigned destinations. The planet Thraxis Nocturnae lay peaceful in the corner of the cosmos, its nocturnal luminosity radiating a tranquility that was about to be disturbed. In the vast space, Awamo the angel, with his small book in hand, and his god of destruction Ewin, an imposing figure with a stern gaze, detected the arrival of a shadow creature, a minion of Zeno-sama's father. The creature, shrouded in malevolent darkness, descended with malevolent determination towards Thraxis Nocturnae. Ewin, without hesitation, deployed his energy of destruction while Awano stood by, hoping to resolve the conflict without a bath of chaos. Creature, your darkness will not be tolerated in this realm. Stop your destructive plans. The shadow creature emanated a guttural growl, its presence emanating an unnatural energy that distorted the space around it. The space battle began with an explosion of opposing forces. Ewin launched destructive beams, while Awamo used his speed to dodge the attacks and assess the situation. Ewin, this creature's stronger than we imagined. We must be cautious. I know, Awamo, but we can't let him destroy Thraxis Nocturnae. We must give our best. The shadow creature, agile and evasive, responded to the attacks with dark energy waves that distorted space. The battle spread across the firmament, leaving traces of destructive energy in its wake. Ewin tried to anticipate the creature's movements. However, the shadow creature proved to be agile and adaptive, countering every strategy with an unmatched dark force. Our conventional methods
don't work. Ewin, we need to combine our forces.
I agree, Awamo. It's time to show them the true power of destruction. Awamo and Ewin merged their energies, creating a flash of light that defied the surrounding darkness. The shadow creature, perceiving the threat, intensified its own energy, generating a collision of cosmic forces that shook space itself. The battle reached a fever pitch, with cosmic explosions lighting up the scene as Awamo and Ewin struggled to contain the darkness. The struggle took place not only on the physical plane, but also on the spiritual one, where the will to protect Thraxis Nocturne was pitted against the ruthless ambition of the shadow creature. The fusion of Awamo and Ewin unleashed a dazzling energy that eclipsed even the nocturnal luminosity of Thraxis Nocturne. The gold and violet glow enveloped the divine couple as they prepared to face the dark threat looming over the peaceful planet. It's time to show the true extent of our power, Awamo. The shadow creature, aware of the growing threat, rushed towards them with supernatural speed. Awamo, with his keen perception, anticipated every movement of the creature, allowing the couple to dodge its onslaughts with heavenly elegance.
Keep calm, Ewin. We must synchronize our movements to counteract their darkness.
Ewin nodded and unleashed a series of destructive energy blasts that lit up the space around him. However, the shadow creature responded with amazing agility, dodging every attack with meandering movements. The battle became a cosmic game of strategy and speed. The angel Awamo and the god of destruction Ewin soon realized that in order to defeat this entity, they would need a coordinated attack that transcended the limits of their individual abilities. In a moment of perfect timing, they unleashed a gale of combined energy. Awamo channeled the energy of destruction while Ewin released violet flashes of destruction.
Focus your energy, Awamo. Let's get rid of this darkness once and for all.
Awamo nodded and joined the attack with determination. The fused energy of both angel and god turned into a spear of golden and violet light that pierced through space with an impressive speed. The shadow creature, caught in the torrent of power, let out a heart-rending howl as it was enveloped by the luminosity. The impact was abysmal, generating an expansive wave that shook the cosmos. The darkness that enveloped the creature began to dissipate, revealing its twisted and weakened form. Awamo and Ewin, exhausted but triumphant, stood on guard ready for any eventuality.
We have managed to contain their darkness, but we can't let our guard down.
The shadow creature, now visibly weakened, recoiled before the imposing presence of Awamo and Ewin. The light had prevailed over the darkness in the cosmic corner of Thraxis Nocturne. The divine couple remained firm in their duty to protect the planet that this creature wanted to destroy. However, the battle was not yet over, and the fates of the planets remained uncertain in the vastness of space. After the shocked combined attack of Awamo and Ewin, the space around Thraxis Nocturne was vibrating with the residual energy of the cosmic battle. The shadow creature, apparently weakened, remained suspended in the cosmic void, enveloped in a dark glow that seemed to absorb the surrounding light. The divine couple watched cautiously, aware that the fate of Thraxis Nocturne was still hung in the cosmic balance.
Ewin, something's not right. The darkness of that creature seems to be getting stronger instead of weaker. It seems that our attack has absorbed by her, but it shouldn't be possible. How can he transform our energy of destruction to his own power?
The shadow creature, now surrounded by a more intense aura, began to change its shape. Its twisted figure became more defined. His eyes shone with a malevolent lucidity. The darkness emanating from her was becoming denser, distorting the space around her.
You have underestimated my true potential, angel and god of destruction. Your energy has strengthened me beyond your comprehension.
The divine couple prepared for what was to come next, aware that the threat they faced had evolved. The shadow creature, now empowered by the absorbed energy, charged towards them with renewed speed and ferocity.
We need to be more cautious, Ewin. It seems that every blow we inflict makes her stronger. Understood, Awamo, but we can't allow this darkness to devour Thraxis Nocturne.
The battle resumed with increased intensity. The shadow creature attacked with bursts of dark energy that cut through space, while Awamo and Ewin responded with flashes of golden and violet light. The The cosmic dance of lights and shadows painted an epic picture in the vastness of the universe. Each blow and backlash echoed like thunder in space, distorting reality itself. Owamo, with his keen perception, tried to anticipate the movements of the dark creature, but the dark entity proved to be unpredictable. Ewin, with his energy of destruction, sought to weaken the creature, but his attacks seemed to be absorbed and turned into an additional source of power.
Every time we hit her, her power increases. We can't go on like this. We must find a way to counteract his ability to absorb our energy. Do you have any ideas, Owamo?
Owamo pondered for a moment, his angelic mind working in search of a solution. Meanwhile, the shadow creature, aware of its opponent's confusion, took the opportunity to launch a surprise attack. A wave of dark energy enveloped Owamo and Ewin, distorting their perception and weakening their defenses.
Your resistance is useless. I am the embodiment of darkness. His light cannot prevail before me.
The situation was becoming more and more desperate for the divine couple as they struggled to resist the shadow creature's attacks. Owamo turned his attention to the small book he always carried with him. An idea began to form in his mind.
Ewin, I think I have an idea, but we need to synchronize our attacks in a different way. Explain yourself, Owamo.
Owamo explained his plan to Ewin, who nodded in understanding. Both God and Angel prepared to put their strategy into practice. The shadow creature, confident in its superiority, launched into the attack again, but this time Owamo and Ewin were ready to respond differently.
Now, Ewin, combine your energy of destruction with mine in a more controlled way.
Ewin nodded and channeled his energy to Owamo, who, in turn, merged it with his. Instead of launching a direct attack, they created a sphere of combined light and energy that floated between them.
Do you think this tactic will change the outcome? We'll see.
The energy sphere began to slowly expand, emanating a glowing light that contrasted the surrounding darkness. The shadow creature, curious but confident, watched the development with disdain.
The fused power is not only destructive, but it also has properties that counteract its absorption capacity.
The combined energy sphere, now reaching its maximum expansion, released a wave of light and energy that enveloped the shadow creature. This time, instead of absorbing the power, the darkness that characterized her began to dissipate.
What is this? My power should not be weakened. We create an energy that goes beyond destruction and creation, one that neutralizes the darkness that you're trying to absorb.
The shadow creature, weakened by Owamo and Ewin's strategic counterattack, retreated as the combined energy sphere continued to exert its effect. The light emanating from the sphere began to purify the darkness surrounding the entity, revealing its original form before corruption.
It seems our tactic's working, but we must make sure we contain it completely. We can't let our guard down. Let's continue with the strategy until the creature's completely neutralized.
The space battle continued, but this time Owamo and Ewin had the upper hand. His sphere of combined energy continued to exert its purifying effect, dispelling the darkness that threatened Thraxis Nocturne. With each passing moment, the shadow creature grew weaker. The light of hope began to shine in the corner of the cosmos that was once on the verge of destruction. The shadow creature, weakened by Owamo and Ewin's strategy, retreated into space, its distorted form twisting as the combined energy sphere continued to purify the darkness that enveloped it. In a desperate attempt to regain its strength, the shadow creature began to explore its surroundings, looking for an opportunity to turn the situation in his favor.
My power is weakened here. I need to find a place where darkness prevails.
While exploring, the shadow creature noticed something that favored him. His eyes flashed with malevolent anticipation as he discovered that this world was called Thraxis Nocturne because it was a planet plunged into shadows. The dark entity smiled malevolently as he realized that this planet could provide the darkness needed to revitalize his power.
Ha 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 ha! Thraxis Nocturne, a feast of darkness awaits me!
With amazing speed, the shadow creature launched itself towards the planet, traversing space with great speed. Owamo and Ewin, aware of his intentions, followed closely, determined to stop any attempt by the shadow creature to plunge into the darkness of the planet. As the creature approached Thraxis Nocturne, the darkness of the planet seemed to intensify, as if responding to its presence. The planet's nighttime atmosphere shone with a faint luminosity, offering a fascinating contrast to the surrounding stars.
Ewan, we must prevent the creature from being filled with dark power. If she succeeds, it'll be even more difficult to stop her. Understood, Owamo. We'll not allow the darkness of this planet to fall into the hands of that entity.
The shadow creature descended on Thraxis Nocturne with a terrifying impetus. As she approached, the darkness seemed to take her in, enveloping her with a gloomy welcome. The shadow creature began to absorb the darkness of the planet, its twisted form vibrating with a new energy as it filled with the essence of Thraxis Nocturne.
Ha 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 ha! Yes, this darkness will strengthen me. Nothing can stop me now.
Owamo and Ewan, wasting no time, headed towards the shadow creature, determined to stop its advance before it became unstoppable. The battle in the shadows of Thraxis Nocturne was about to take a very drastic turn.
We cannot allow this darkness to completely corrupt this creature. We must stop her before she becomes invincible. Your previous strategy was effective, Owamo. Let's keep working together to counter his power.
Deep in the shadows of Thraxis Nocturne, the intense presence of the absorbing shadow creature did not go unnoticed by the most powerful warriors on the planet. Turles, Bardock, Raditz, Frieza, and his brother Cooler felt the darkness increasing around them and, with a mixture of amazement and concern, headed toward the epicenter of the threat.
Something's not right. The darkness in this place is getting denser.
Whatever it is, we cannot let it threaten Thraxis Nocturne. Let's investigate.
The warriors moved nimbly across the gloomy terrain, advancing towards the source of the darkness. As they got closer, the atmosphere became heavier, as if the shadow itself wanted to resist their advance.
The darkness is different. I feel a strange pressure.
I'm not afraid of the dark, but this is unusual. Cooler, stay alert.
Understood, Frieza. Let's find out what's going on.
Suddenly, a wave of dark energy erupted before them, revealing the shadow creature that was absorbing the darkness of the planet. His twisted figure and malevolent aura were as evident as the threat he posed to Thraxis Nocturne.
Warriors of this planet, his darkness feeds me. Soon I will be unstoppable.
We won't let you destroy Thraxis Nocturne. Get ready, creature.
The warriors went on the attack, each unleashing their unique power against the dark entity. Turles unleashed his evil aura, releasing bursts of destructive energy. Bardock channeled his Saiyan fury into powerful blows, while Raditz and Cooler coordinated their attacks to create a symphony of destruction. Frieza intensifying the struggle.
This creature doesn't know who he's up against.
Your resistance is useless. Each blow only increases my power.
The shadow creature, powered by the darkness of Thraxis Nocturne, absorbed attacks with defiant ease. Each impact seemed to strengthen rather than weaken it, plunging the warriors into the disturbing reality that they were facing an enemy that fed on its own darkness.
It's not working. He's getting stronger and stronger.
We need to change our strategy. We can't let it absorb all the darkness on the planet.
While the warriors struggled to find an effective strategy, the shadow creature, with its distorted laughter, continued to absorb the darkness, becoming more and more powerful. The Battle of Thraxis Nocturne's survival was at its most critical, and the warriors knew that they had to find a solution before the dark entity became invincible. The dark aura released by the shadow creature enveloped the warriors of Thraxis Nocturne, gradually weakening them. The warriors struggled to stay on their feet as the entity's malevolent energy infiltrated their bodies, obscuring their vital forces.
This is it. Too much.
I can't let that defeat us like this.
The warriors, despite their bravery, were overcome by the darkness emanating from the aura of the shadow creature. At that critical moment, when hope seemed to be fading, a heavenly light pierced the shadows. Owamo and Ewan, the angels charged with protecting Thraxis Nocturne, arrived on the battlefield.
The darkness emanating from this creature is breathtaking. We cannot allow it to take over this planet. Time to show these warriors how to fight true darkness.
The angel spread his wings, and together with the god of destruction, they advanced towards the shadow creature, his presence radiating a luminosity that defied the malevolent nature of the dark aura. As it approached, The dark entities sensed the arrival of divine beings and turned to face the new threat.
More insignificant beings. His light will be devoured by my darkness. Don't underestimate the power of light. Darkness cannot resist the true essence of creation.
Owamo extended his hand, and a purifying light enveloped the battlefield, counteracting the dark effect of the creature's aura. Ewin, on the other hand, deployed the energy of destruction, creating a perfect balance between light and darkness. The shadow creature, for the first time, felt the pressure of forces that it could not easily absorb or resist. The conflict took a turn, and the battle became more intense as the angel and god of destruction faced the dark entity with the unique combination of light and destruction.
The real struggle starts now. We'll protect Thrax's Nocturne from the darkness you represent.
The fight between the angels and the shadow creature reached impressive levels, with bursts of energy illuminating the dark planet of Thrax's Nocturne. Meanwhile, the warriors, freed from the debilitating effects of the dark aura, watched the fight, hoping that their planet would not be destroyed. In the dark skies of Thrax's Nocturne, the stage was transformed into a cosmic battlefield, where divine light and malevolent darkness collided in an epic confrontation. Owamo and Ewin, the guardians of this planet, displayed their celestial power with a grace and precision that defied description. The glow of the purifying light emanating from Ewin and Owamo spread across the space, illuminating the shadows that the shadow creature was trying to grasp. Ewin and Owamo's every move was a ballet of divine energy, as they gracefully dodged the dark attacks encountered with unstoppable force. Owamo's wings shone with a resplendent light, like stars in the night, as he invoked the very essence of creation to repel the dark forces rising up against him. By his side, Ewin radiated an imposing presence, with his penetrating gaze fixed on the creature as it defying the darkness itself. The shadow creature, on the other hand, was fighting with an impressive ferocity, trying to resist the overwhelming power of Ewin and Owamo. Their dark attacks were launched like ravenous shadows, seeking to consume the divine light that surrounded them. However, every attack was countered by the impenetrable force of Ewin and Owamo, who remained firm in their purpose to protect the planet. The clash between light and darkness created a symphony of cosmic energy, with flashes of light and bursts of energy illuminating the firmament. The light will always prevail over the darkness. Your power is formidable, but it cannot resist the purity of creation.
You can't stop me. I'm the very embodiment of darkness.
Darkness can be powerful, but the real strength lies in balance, and we represent that balance. Ewin and Owamo continued to deploy their energy with amazing precision, creating light barriers that repelled the attacks of the shadow creature. Every movement of Ewin and Owamo was imbued with a divine elegance and grace, while the creature struggled with a desperate ferocity. Our mission is to protect the harmony of the universe, and that includes protecting this planet from your darkness.
You can't stop me. I'm inevitable.
The shadow creature launched waves of dark energy, but Ewin and Owamo easily repelled them, maintaining an opposing presence in the midst of battle. Every blow of Ewin and Owamo resonated with the force of creation, while the creature struggled more and more desperately. The darkness can be a challenge, but our determination's unwavering. We'll not let you destroy this planet. Your power may be formidable, but it cannot equal the eternal light of the universe. The battle continued with Ewin and Owamo and the shadow creature facing off in an epic clash between light and dark. In the midst of the struggle, Father Zeno silently watched from his kingdom, perceived the magnitude of the conflict. With an imperceptible gesture, he decided to intervene, taking Ewin and Owamo to a mental plane where they could confront the shadow creature in a terrain beyond the physical. In a flash of dazzling light, Owamo and Ewin were transported to an ethereal realm, where the laws of the universe twisted and blurred. Where are we, Ewin? We have entered the realm of the mind, a place where reality is molded according to the will of the observer. Here the real battle will be fought in the deepest corners of our being. While Awamo and Ewan were transported to a mental plane by Father Zeno, the shadow creature continued its fierce assault against the warriors of Thraxis Nocturne. Turles, Bardock, Raditz, Frieza, and Cooler, the most powerful warriors on the planet, rose up against the darkness that threatened to consume their home. The shadow creature, imbued with a dark and malevolent aura, hovered over them with an overwhelming presence. He distorted his energy, enveloping everything around him, tearing reality itself apart, and threatening to plunge the planet into an abyss of chaos.
We won't let you destroy our home, shadow monster.
We, the warriors of Thraxis Nocturne, are not afraid of the dark.
We have faced much greater dangers than you, creature.
We will fight together to protect our world.
The shadow creature launched a powerful dark attack towards the warriors, but they responded with relentless ferocity. Turles, his eyes shining with determination, unleashed a shower of destructive energy, summoning the very essence of nature to channel it in a torrent of energetic attacks. Their powerful attacks cut through the darkness with devastating precision, creating dazzling explosions that lit up the planet's night sky. Bardock, with his fiery ki and indomitable spirit, channeled his energy into a powerful attack. His fists were burning with a searing intensity as he launched a concentrated burst of energy towards the shadow creature, challenging its strength with its own. Bardock's attack resonated with the determination of an invincible warrior, willing to give everything for the protection of his world. Raditz and Cooler, united in battle, joined in a coordinated assault on the shadow creature. With fluid and coordinated movements, they launched bursts of energy from different angles, creating a barrier of attacks that surrounded their enemy. The shadow creature struggled to defend itself against the combined onslaught of the two powerful warriors, but its resistance was challenged by the determination and skill of Raditz and Cooler. Meanwhile, Frieza, with his golden form glowing with a golden aura, was preparing to unleash his full power against the shadow creature. His eyes shone with a cold and calculated determination as he focused his energy on a devastating attack. With a graceful and precise movement, Frieza unleashed a burst of golden energy that swirled with unparalleled destructive power, threatening to envelop the shadow creature in a mantle of fire and destruction. The battle escalated as the warriors of Thraxis Nocturne bravely faced the darkness that threatened their world. Every blow, every burst of energy echoed through space, creating a spectacle of destruction and determination. Meanwhile, on the mental plane, Awamo and Ewan were engaged in a metaphysical struggle against Father Zeno, an omnipotent entity whose presence radiated an aura of indescribable power. Ewan and Awamo, aware of the gravity of the situation, desperately sought the intervention of Father Zeno to counter the threat of the shadow creature. However, to their surprise, Father Zeno solemnly informed them that they could not intervene directly, since the balance of the universe had to be kept intact even in times of crisis. Awamo and Ewan, although unhappy with Father Zeno's decision, understood the importance of respecting the laws of the cosmos. With determination, they plunged even deeper into the metaphysical struggle, using all their ingenuity and power to find a solution to the crisis unfolding in Thraxis Nocturne. As a confrontation on the mental plane reached its climax, Awamo and Ewan found themselves face to face with the imposing Father Zeno. His figure radiated an indisputable authority, but also an aura of mystery that aroused restlessness in the Ewan and Awamo. Awamo, with his usual serenity, broke the tense silence that filled the ethereal space. "Father Zeno," he began in a firm but respectful tone, "could it be you that... Were you the one who sent the shadow creatures to destroy the planets?" Father Zeno, with an unflappable expression, nodded slowly.
"I did it for the good of the universe,"
he replied calmly. Although his voice resonated with a power that shook Ewan and Awamo, sometimes drastic measures must be taken to preserve the cosmic balance. Ewan, with a flash of indignation in his eyes, could not contain himself anymore. "But that doesn't justify the chaos and destruction you've unleashed!" he exclaimed, his voice echoing with unshakable determination. "There are other ways to restore balance without resorting to violence and darkness." Father Zeno observed the god of destruction and his angel with a penetrating gaze, as if he were evaluating their words and their posture.
"Your compassion is admirable, but sometimes it's necessary to sacrifice a few pieces to save the entire board,"
he said in an enigmatic tone. Awamo and Ewan exchanged determined glances. Although they respected Father Zeno's authority, they knew that they had to follow their own principles and convictions. With courage, they prepared to challenge the omnipotent being in front of them, willing to fight for what they believed was right, even if it meant facing the divinity itself. The air on the mental plane was charged with tension, as Owamo and Ewin prepared to face Father Zeno. Their divine auras collided in a show of titanic forces, as Ewin and Owamo prepared to challenge the supreme being in front of them. Owamo, with his heavenly book in hand, looked at Father Zeno with determination.
Father Zeno, although we respect your authority, we cannot allow you to continue with this destruction,
he stated firmly.
We'll fight for peace and balance in the universe, even if it means standing up to you.
Father Zeno, with an impenetrable calm, nodded in recognition. Your courage is admirable, but you will not be able to stop me, he replied calmly.
The fate of the universe is in my hands, and I'll do whatever it takes to preserve its balance.
Without further words, the battle began with a burst of divine energy. Owamo unleashed his celestial power, summoning rays of light that he threw against Father Zeno, while Ewin threw waves of energy with determination. However, Father Zeno showed impressive resilience, deflecting every attack with surprising ease. The fight went on for what seemed like an eternity, with Ewin and Owamo and Father Zeno trading punches and counterpunches in a cosmic dance of power and skill. Every movement was imbued with a supernatural force, while the mental plane trembled under the intensity of his conflict. However, as time passed, Owamo and Ewin began to feel the weight of their opponent. Father Zeno's power was overwhelming, and every blow Ewin and Owamo received weakened them even more. Despite their bravery and determination, it seemed that they were fighting against an impossible-to-defeat force. Owamo, panting from the effort, looked at his companion with concern.
Ewin, we can't go on like this,
he admitted sincerely.
Father Zeno's too powerful for us.
Ewin, though exhausted, nodded determinedly.
I know, Owamo, but we can't give up,
he replied firmly.
We must keep fighting for Thraxus Nocturne and for all beings in the universe.
With a final effort, Ewin and Owamo gathered their forces to launch a final attack against Father Zeno. However, the Supreme Being easily overcame them, deflecting his power with a contemptuous gesture. Father Zeno looked at Ewin and Owamo with a mixture of admiration and regret.
They're brave, but their struggle has come to an end, he solemnly declared. Accept your defeat and let fate take its course.
With a resigned sigh, Owamo and Ewin surrendered to Father Zeno's overwhelming strength. Although they had fought with all their heart and soul, they knew that they could not defeat the Supreme Being in front of them. Father Zeno, with a compassionate look, looked at them benevolently.
Rest now, my brave creations,
he said gently.
His bravery will be remembered throughout the universe.
Father Zeno, with an unflappable expression, extended his hand towards the exhausted Ewin and Owamo. In an instant, a powerful burst of cosmic energy emanated from his palm, enveloping Owamo and Ewin in a dazzling radiance. Ewin and Owamo screamed in agony as Father Zeno's energy enveloped them, feeling every fiber of their being torn apart under the relentless power of the Supreme Being. Their bodies, imbued with divine light, were slowly consumed in the maelstrom of energy, fading little by little into the ether of the cosmos. Owamo and Ewin fought with all their might to resist the cataclysm that engulfed them, but it was useless. The power of Father Zeno surpassed them in every respect, and they were soon reduced to mere shadows of their former glory. With the last gasp, Owamo and Ewin exploded, leaving body parts all over the mental space, dissipating into cosmic nothingness while their essence merged with the universe. At that precise moment, we return to the earthly plane, where the fierce battle between the most powerful warriors of Thraxus Nocturne and the shadow creature was reaching its climax. Bursts of energy and thunderous crashes echoed in the air, while Bardock, in the middle of the combat, glimpsed Owamo and Ewin, who were lying unconscious on the ground, enveloped in a halo of divine light. Surprise and dismay were reflected on the faces of the warriors, who momentarily stopped their frantic struggle upon realizing the situation. Bardock, his eyes wide open, watched in horror as Ewin and Owamo's bodies began to shake, emanating flashes of energy that increased in intensity with each passing second. A tense silence enveloped the battlefield as everyone watched the scene in disbelief. Suddenly, a heart-rending explosion echoed in the air, making the earth and sky tremble. Bardock and the other warriors were thrown back by the force of the explosion, protecting themselves as best as they could from the shockwave that was spreading around them. When the afterglow of the explosion faded, what was left was a smoking crater where Awamo and Ewin once stood. The warriors slowly stood up, stunned by what they had just witnessed, as the shadow creature, now shrouded in an even denser darkness, prepared to lash out again before the protecting warriors of Thraxus Nocturne. Bardock clenched his fist determinedly, feeling a mixture of sadness and fury burn inside him. He knew that they must continue the fight, not only for the honor of their planet, but also in memory of the brave fallen Guardians. With a war cry, the warriors rushed into combat again, determined to avenge the loss of their comrades and protect their home from the darkness that threatened to consume it. After the devastating explosion that killed Awamo and Ewin, the warriors of Thraxus Nocturne gathered in a circle, still stunned by what had happened. Bardock, with a gloomy look, broke the silence with a grave tone.
Damn it! What the hell just happened?
Turles, frowning, shook his head in disbelief.
I don't know, but we can't let this sacrifice be in vain. We need to get this thing over with once and for all.
Raditz, with his fist clenched, furiously nodded determinedly.
You're right! Awamo and Ewin gave their lives to protect this planet. We cannot disappoint his sacrifice.
Frieza, with his usual impassive expression, spoke in a cold and calculated tone.
The death of Ewin and Awamo should not be in vain. We must unite and concentrate our efforts on defeating that shadow creature.
Cooler, with a serious look, added determinedly,
We are facing an unprecedented threat, but if we fight together, we can overcome it. Let's do it for the honor of Thraxus Nocturne, for the legacy of our brave comrades.
Bardock nodded solemnly, his jaw tense with determination.
So, are we in agreement? We'll fight together until the end and avenge our fallen.
The warriors nodded in agreement, sharing a look of determination and unity. With their hearts filled with determination, they prepared to face once again the darkness that threatened their home. As the warriors prepared to face the shadow creature again, a fierce determination burned in their hearts. Turles, feeling the energy of the battle, was the first to unleash his power.
It's time to show them our true power!
With a powerful scream, Turles wrapped himself in an aura of energy. Her dark hair turned golden and her eyes shone with a dazzling intensity. The energy of the Super Saiyan emanated from his being, infusing strength and determination into his entire being. Raditz, inspired by Turtle's example, followed suit.
It's my turn!
With a burst of energy, Raditz's dark hair bristled, turning golden just like his brother's. His ki increased dramatically, emanating a commanding presence that filled the battlefield. Seeing the transformation of his comrades, Bardock also joined the fray.
I can't stay behind!
With a battle cry, Bardock unleashed all his power. His fiery aura enveloped him in a higher golden glow. His energy increased to astronomical levels, propelling him towards a higher form of his race. Frieza, observing the transformation of the Saiyans, did not want to be left behind.
The time has come to show my true strength.
With a burst of energy, Frieza transformed into his golden form of maximum power similar to 100% full power. His body radiating a golden glow. His power multiplied several times, turning him into an unstoppable force that rivaled the sunlight itself. Cooler, feeling the energy surrounding him, decided to join the fight with all his might.
It's time to unleash my true potential.
With a flash of energy, Cooler transformed into his metallic form, his body glowing with a metallic luster. His stamina and power increased exponentially, making him an invincible force that would defy even the gods. With their transformations complete, the warriors of Thraxus Nocturne once again faced the shadow creature with renewed determination and a power that eclipsed any darkness. In the skies of Thraxus Nocturne, the battle continued as the transformed warriors faced off against the shadow creature, a being whose dark power threatened to devour everything in its path. With each of the warriors unleashing their full potential, the cosmos trembled under the force of their epic showdown. The golden aura of Turles, Raditz, and Bardock, combined with the imposing presence of Frieza and Cooler in their transformed forms, formed a dazzling spectacle in the night sky. Energy flickered around them, lighting up the darkness with golden and silver flashes as they prepared for the final showdown. The shadow creature, sensing his power of his adversaries, emanated a rumbling roar that echoed through the planet. His dark form seemed to twist and distort as he prepared for the final assault.
It's time to end this once and for all!
With a battle cry, Turles lunged forward. His speed increased by his Super Saiyan form. The shadow creature responded with an onslaught of dark energy, but Turles nimbly dodged it, moving with astonishing speed across the battlefield. Raditz and Bardock followed Turles' lead, attacking with relentless ferocity. Their blows echoed in the air, each one charged with the strength of his determination and the desire to protect his home planet. The shadow creature's attacks were swift and fierce, but the Saiyans deftly dodged them, responding with even more powerful blows.
Father, let's keep the pressure on this thing. We can't let it destroy our home.
I know. We're not going to allow this monster to destroy Thrax's Nocturne. Our power is more than enough to end it.
That's right. You taught us to fight with courage and determination. We'll not back down before this creature is destroyed.
Take this!
The shadow creature dodged Bardock's attack with agility, launching its counterattack with its sharp claws.
Careful, Father.
Don't worry about me. I'm more than ready for this.
And take this too.
Raditz's attacks hit the shadow creature hard, but it quickly recovered and counterattacked with a surge of dark energy.
Damn, this thing's tougher than I thought.
We can't give up now. Our planet depends on us.
You're right. Let's show you what we're capable of.
The two Saiyans launched into the air attack once more with renewed determination. Their blows echoed in the air, each one charged with the strength of his determination and the desire to protect his home planet. The shadow creature, although resistant, was overcome by the ferocity of the Saiyans. Turles, with his golden hair flowing behind him, launched a quick series of precise punches, each one carrying with it the power of his transformation into Super Saiyan. His movements were fluid and graceful, as if he were dancing around his enemy, dodging every attack with impressive agility.
There's no escape for you, monster! Your darkness can't compete with the power of the Super Saiyan!
With a battle cry, Turles lashed out at the shadow creature, striking with overwhelming force. Every blow resounded in the air, shaking the battlefield with its power. The shadow creature was fighting desperately, but its attacks seemed weak compared to Turles' ferocity. Meanwhile, Raditz and Bardock were continuing their assault on the shadow creature. Their attacks were coordinated and precise, each complementing the other in a deadly dance of destruction. The shadow creature found itself increasingly cornered, unable to cope with the combined might of the Saiyans.
Come on, Father. We know we can stop this thing.
I know, Raditz. Let's keep pushing until there's nothing left of this creature.
With renewed determination, the two Saiyans redoubled their efforts, launching a series of devastating attacks against the shadow creature. Each blow echoed in the air, carrying with it the weight of his determination and the desire to protect his home planet. Frieza and Cooler were watching the battle intently from a distance, their cold gazes evaluating every move of the Saiyans and the shadow creature. As the fight intensified, they noticed with increasing concern how the shadow creature began to gain more strength, releasing a dark energy that threatened to destabilize this situation.
It seems that the things are getting more complicated than I expected.
Yes, the shadow creature seems to be gaining ground. If we don't intervene soon, we could face an even more dangerous situation.
With a cold determination, Frieza and Cooler exchanged a glance before heading towards the battlefield. His presence made itself felt immediately. His overbearing aura flooded the area as they prepared to face the shadow creature.
Looks like we need to intervene before things get out of control.
I agree. We cannot allow this shadow creature to wreak more havoc on our planet.
With surprising speed, Frieza and Cooler launched into action, deploying all the power in an effort to contain the shadow creature. His attacks were precise and devastating, each blow carrying with it the weight of his determination and the desire to protect his home. However, the shadow creature was not going to be easily defeated. With a thunderous scream, he split into 4 separate beings, each one darker and more malevolent than the last. The earth trembled under their weight as they advanced towards the warriors, ready to unleash their fury on them.
It seems that this creature has more tricks up its sleeve than we thought.
It doesn't matter. We have our own tricks.
Well guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment and subscribe. Now without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.